Hello and welcome on into the 10-Pin Alley pregame show, a bittersweet edition of the pregame show because it's our last game of the season. Hi, I'm Rich Reynolds along with former Badger quarterback Mark Martinez. And Mark, kind of sad and kind of surprising that the season's over just like that.
Even the weather's crying a little bit as
Right?
we're getting a little bit of dusting of rain tonight. But yeah, the season goes by really quick in high school football. You got 9 weeks. When you start in mid-August like we did, it surely ends quickly, it seems like.
And maybe kind of apropos that we got some dark clouds here. There's been some cloudy days for both of these programs this season. Milton comes in with a record of 3-5. Edgewood looking for their first win of the season. How do these schools, these teams get geared up for this game?
Well, certainly winning is good for the soul. When they come into this game tonight, they both know they have a chance to win. The Badger South is very competitive with some great teams at the top of it. Winona Grove, Stoughton, Watertown, those sorts of teams. And these teams know that they probably wouldn't compete well with those, but they can with each other, and they're looking to win tonight and walk off the field as winners their last game.
A few weeks ago, a story came out in the Wisconsin State Journal about the Edgewood program, talking about getting out of the conference, being with teams that are more of their enrollment size.
Right.
Does that play on the coach? Does it play on the players? And what do you think about how that's going to work out?
Well, football is a numbers game, as we all know. And the more students you have, the more boys you have in your class, and the more kids you can come out for your program, and you could raise them up in the lower levels. And when your numbers are decreasing, it's really deflating for your classes not to have that, and your coaches, and it wears on them. And then you get a couple of key injuries. You don't have some of the younger kids built up into that program, and it can really tie you down. And if you're not competing against teams that are similar size enrollment, it's difficult.
Yeah, they brought up some good points in that article. One of the interesting points was the abolition of conferences. There was that kind of discussion. I mean, some interesting stuff. We'll touch on it throughout the night and definitely talk more about this game in depth as we'll bring in the coaches. We do that next right here on the 10-Pin Alley pregame show. It's all part of the Cheese Bowl here from Middleton tonight on 57 Sports. Time now in the 10-Pin Alley pregame show that we turn our attention and the head coach of the Milton Redhawks, Matt Lee. And coach, kind of an up and down kind of season. You started off great, 3-0. Things are rolling. You've lost your last 5. How do you get out of that now, break that streak, get back into the win column?
We've really stressed just consistency all year. We played a couple good teams, lost a couple close ones. So that makes it tough, but I feel like our kids came out this week just wanting to finish the season strong.
Winning is certainly good for the soul. Like you said, you're focusing on the last game of the season here. You're not going into the playoffs. But what would a win mean to propel not only your seniors in their last game, but preparing your underclassmen for next year?
Yeah, as a senior, a lot of times you do remember a little bit more of that last football game, so it's always nice to send them out on a win or at least make sure that they know they left it all on the field that night.
It seems like you had a quarterback competition before the season started. You go with Danny Weitzel. He's had one heck of a season. The junior has performed well. That's got to bode well going into next year.
Yeah, he's done a ton of things really well. I throw a lot on his plate. So overall, yeah, he's came out and played real well the whole year.
Talk a little bit about your defense. What do you expect out of the night? How they're going to stop this Crusader offense?
Lots of seniors on defense for us, so I'm pretty excited that they're going to bring, a lot of experience here coming against Edgewood here. We got to fire off the ball, though, control line of scrimmage. We talk about that all week, so pretty excited.
There you go. Hopefully, Coach, you get to finish the season off on a high note. We appreciate your time. Good luck tonight. Coach Matt Lee there. We'll talk to Coach Minert next on the 10-Pin Alley pregame show on 57 Sports. All right, back on the 10-Pin Alley pregame show as we bring in the Crusaders head coach right now, Alan Minert. And Coach, sitting on the season at 0-8, how important is it for you guys to say, you know what, we did something this season, we got ourselves a win, we got in the win column tonight?
We've talked about it all week, and talked about it all year, trying to get that win and feel better about ourselves. We really have not been able to put our whole football team together. I think most everybody's going to dress tonight. They're not all 100%, but we're as close to being healthy as we've ever been.
Coach Jack McNeil's a really good tight end for you, but he got thrust into the quarterback position. Talk about what you expect out of him tonight and how he's been playing for you at the quarterback spot.
You know, he's improved a lot. He's really got put in a tough situation. He's not 100%, you know, playing on a compromised ACL. He tore his ACL in this game last year and then re-injured it over the summer, but decided he wanted to play. And so he's out there fighting and trying his best. Our original quarterback hurt his shoulder the first practice of the year and still can't throw. And so Jack stepped in and is playing quarterback and doing the best he can. He's got a great arm, and he's got great presence, so we need to give him time and then get our receivers open.
Yep. You know, Coach, Mark and I were talking about it a little bit. An article in the Wisconsin State Journal a couple weeks ago kind of highlighted Edgewood's desire to get out of the Badger South Conference. Did the kids read anything into it? Does it have any effect on the team at all?
You know, we talked about it. It doesn't affect tonight. You know, we still have to play this schedule. There's been a shift in that, and we've decided not to ask to leave the Badger. And so that just happened yesterday. We're still hoping for a big, small mix, you know, in terms of that. And we're going to be playing the same schedule next year. And the year after that, I know the WIA's looked at the district plan again. And like I told the kids, there's two things that move slower than a glacier, and that is WIA realignment and healthcare reform.
Good stuff.
Thanks for the scoop.
Yeah, we got the scoop. You still got your sense of humor, and hopefully you can put one in the win column tonight. I'm sure, you guys have earned it. Thank you for your time. And coming up next, it is the Blowin' Smoke tailgating show. Stick around. Right after that, we'll have the coin toss, and then it's kickoff time for the Cheese Bowl from Brighton Box Stadium here in Middleton on 57 Sports.
We're here with Robert Bishop and the Blowin' Smoke Barbecue Tailgating Showcase. How are you, Robert?
Doing good, Justin. How are you?
Good to see you. Good to see you. I'm great. So we're making buffalo chicken cheese balls.
Yes, sir.
All right. So how do we do that?
Okay, we take a blend of mozzarella, cheddar, cream cheese,
Okay.
chicken that's been tossed in buffalo sauce that we make in-house here.
Sure.
And we take those, roll them into nice little balls.
Okay.
These are appetizer.
Okay. And what is it that you're rolling it in?
That's a little flour.
Just flour. Okay.
Then this is a seasoned batter, beer
Okay.
batter.
Beer batter.
Beer batter, yep.
Nice.
Sounds a little weird, but beer and cheese in Wisconsin,
Well,
right?
that's who would have thought, right?
Yeah. Roll them in a little panko breadcrumb,
All right.
and you got your cheese ball.
Wow, that's pretty easy.
Yep.
So then what do? You just deep fry them
Deep
for a
fry
while?
these. It takes about a minute. Deep fry them,
Okay.
and then they come out
I'm gonna try.
golden.
Look at that. I'm gonna try a little piece here. This is the buffalo chicken cheese ball. It's still warm too.
Yeah,
That's great.
yeah.
Wow. Buffalo chicken cheese ball. What a great, I guess, finger food that you can have at, if you're doing any tailgating or if you're just watching the game at home. Great thing that you can do, or you can get them here from Blowin' Smoke Barbecue.
Yep.
Is it possible to do it without deep frying them, or do they have to be deep fried? Could you just pan fry them or something?
You could probably pan fry them. Yep.
Okay.
I bought an air fryer recently, and that
Okay.
thing's pretty amazing too. They might work good in there. I've never
Alright.
tried it, but it's possible.
How long do you have to put them in there for?
About a minute.
All right.
Yep.
That's very good.
Just get them kind of golden. Heat up the cheese a little bit.
So if you have any catering needs, any parties that you're hosting coming up, give this guy a call at Blowin' Smoke Barbecue. It's in Wanakee. They smoke all their own meats. Robert Bishop, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we'll be back after this break with more high school football. Stick around.
Well, this is the Monona Bank coin toss in the Cheese Bowl A1 Furniture. We have Madison Edgewood hosting Milton today, so we have the coin toss coming up. We will talk with the players and the coaches right now. Whoops. Should have been the other side.
Guys, I'm Terry King. I'm Terry King. I'm your referee. I'm going to have the other officials introduce themselves to you.
Dan Connery, line judge. Nick Neds, umpire. Chip Guard, headlines.
Gentlemen, shake hands and introduce yourselves. First name. Number 10, your headband's going to have to go. Yeah. Okay. If I want to speak to a white captain, I want to speak to you. I'll explain the penalty. I will give you all your options. You can ask your coach for help, but your decision to me will be final. If I want to speak to an Edgewood captain, I want to speak to you. I'll explain the penalty. I'll give you all your options. You can ask your coach for help, but your decision to me will be final. I'm going to have you two guys slide in here. I've got a coin. I've got heads. And I've got tails. Milton, you're the visiting team. I'm going to have you call it in the air. Heads or tails. My umpire is going to repeat what you call. In the air, call it. And it's tails. You've won the toss. Would you like to receive or defer? Oh, you said tails? Oh, I'm sorry. You have the option, and you want to receive or defer? You want to receive. Which way do you guys want to kick? Okay, switch around here, guys. White right here. Come on up just a little closer here, guys. Okay, you won the toss. You have elected to receive. Guys, you're going to kick this way. Gentlemen, shake hands again. We're going to go in 10 minutes. Good luck, guys.
So Milton has won the Monona Bank coin toss. They elected to receive the kickoff. We will have the national anthem brought to you by Cricket Wireless after this.
There you have it, the Cricket Wireless National Anthem as Old Glory was illuminated through a steady rain here at Breitenbach Stadium. Hopefully our game will be as bright here this evening. Two teams looking for redemption on a rainy Friday night in Wisconsin. It's the Cheese Bowl between Milton and Edgewood. Kickoff is next here on 57 Sports. Soggy night here to end our season. The regular season coming to a conclusion here in Wisconsin tonight as we are at Breitenbach Stadium in Middleton. I'm Rich Reynolds along with former Badger quarterback Mark Martinez. And Mark, both of these teams looking to finish what has been a disappointing 2017 campaign on a high note.
Yeah, the Milton Redhawks started out 3-0. They proceeded to wheel off 5 losses in a row to go to 3-5. Obviously, Edgewood at 0-8, looking for the first victory of the season. So both teams here, especially the seniors, would like to walk off the field a victor tonight.
Challenges here tonight for the players with a steady rainfall. I guess the one thing that helps them out, we are playing on the field turf this evening as the opening kickoff kicked out of bounds. That draws our first courtesy forward penalty flag of the night, and it means that Milton's going to set up shop in pretty darn good shape. We talked with Coach Matt Lee before the game started tonight and talked about quarterback Danny Weitzel. And Weitzel has had an impressive season, not only throwing the football, but running as well.
Absolutely. Like you said, he's thrown the ball pretty well, and he's the Red Hawks' second leading rusher on the season. So we're going to look for a steady dose of Weitzel's name being called tonight, whether he's throwing it or running it for the Milton team.
He is 10 yards shy of 1,700 combined yards this season. And again, just a junior. They'll be able to see Weitzel back next year as he will open the game with an empty set. 5 wide receivers, now some motion, and the give is going to be on the jet sweep to Van Natta, and Van Natta is driven back. He will not get to the line of scrimmage as the Crusaders on a crusade this evening to keep Cameron Van Natta from having a big game.
So Van Natter's been their leading rusher on the year. He's got 365 yards. He's averaging about 6 yards a carry, which is a nice hefty average for a running back. He's got 6 touchdowns there. But the Edgewood Crusader defense did a great job stringing that jet sweep out and obviously knocking them back for a 5-yard loss.
You know, kind of interesting. The scoreboard had it at 2nd and 13. It's a 5-yard loss. 2nd and 15 coming up for Milton. This time, 2 setbacks in the backfield. It's going to be Weitzel who keeps it himself on kind of an option run, and he gets back near the original line of scrimmage, bringing up 3rd and long.
Well, the Milton Red Hawk program is a very proud, has a long tradition too, of being a very competitive team, especially in the Badgers South here. So they're not used to the position that they're in, being 1-5 on the conference so far this year, and they throw the ball a lot, as you can attest to that, with the quarterback having over 1,300 yards passing. So they know what they're doing. It's just a little bit of a blip for them for this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Always up near the top of the conference, and what a following they have as well. We usually get to do a game every year from Milton, and the turnout they have, the band that they have there, I mean, an incredible setting for a football game. Pass too tall on 3rd down as a screen was set up. It was intended for Chance Nelson, and a quick 3 and out and a good start for the Crusader defense.
We talk about this Edgewood team, 0-8 on the season. But obviously for these seniors, this is meaningful. Anytime you put on the pads for the last time, it's extremely meaningful. And then when it's your home field, granted, we're at Middleton at Breitenbach, an incredible stadium, by the way.
No doubt.
Well, I sure would like to see that brand new Edgewood Stadium that they have over there next to the school being used on Friday night some night soon.
You know what? You're getting into politics when you start talking about that kind of stuff.
Neighborhood politics.
Yeah, and some of those can be a little bit messy as Joshua Farney back deep to receive the punt here in the rain. Signals for a fair catch and makes it right at the 37-yard line, where Edgewood will come out on offense when we get back. You're watching the Cheese Bowl presented by A1 Furniture and Mattress on 57 Sports. Edgewood going on offense for the first time tonight, so we're just getting started here for the Cheese Bowl. The rain probably not going to affect a lot of footing, though, out on the field turf surface that they have here at Breitenbach Stadium. Long pass on 1st down, just a little too tall, but a flag comes flying out as you get to see the big arm of Jack McNeil just overshooting his intended target, but it brings a courtesy Ford penalty flag out.
Yeah, he certainly unleashed a rocket there. Jack McNeil, 6'5", 250-pound, primarily a tight end last year, got thrust into the quarterbacking position midway through the season this year, and you can see why. He's got a great arm out there, and saw him try to connect on that wheel route out of the flat there, and almost did, but they got fortunate that they got the penalty, and they're at midfield here with a nice 1st down.
Pass interference is the call, and it'll bring the ball across the midfield stripe. Yeah, we saw back in week number 3, Edgewood outgunned against Stoughton. Stoughton handled them pretty easily, but McNeil was just getting started then as a quarterback, and one thing he displayed right away was that big arm that he has. Just a big physical player.
Absolutely, and again, quarterback, you got to be doing that all year long. You're going to camps over the summertime. You're working 7-on-7 with your teammates throughout the summer as well. And if you're playing tight end, which is where Jack was, he was a very good tight end. He's not getting those reps back there. And all of a sudden, in the middle of the season, because of the great athlete that McNeil is, he gets thrust into the quarterbacking position. And that first game we saw, he was a little rusty. And I'm sure by now he's knocked some of that rust off, and he's their leader.
A little bit of an equipment issue there. Forces a substitution. As again, this game is brought to us by A1 Furniture and Mattress. Huge thank you to them for being our Bowl Series sponsor once again. A1 Furniture and Mattress, your premier furniture and mattress store. Fumble, and the field might not be wet, but the pigskin is, and that is a quick turnover, and the first big break of the game goes to the Red Hawks.
Looked like Joe Bessie just never got his arms around the ball there. Looked like it was a clean handoff from McNeil, but it just rolled right down his stomach through his legs. And number 55 for the Milton Red Hawks was able to scoop it up and give the ball back to the Milton offense.
Great job by our cameras on the Pacific Union Financial replay. As you got to love the sights and sounds here. You mentioned what a nice facility this stadium is. This entire campus here in Middleton, one of the best that you're ever going to see. I mean, absolutely gorgeous athletic facilities. The Performing Arts Center, love coming here. Give it straight up the middle. Van Natta is able to power ahead for a pickup of about 5 on first down.
Yeah, to piggyback off of that, Rich, my daughter's big into musical theater. She's come to a number of performances here at the Performing Arts Center, which is top of the line in this part of the state. This is one of the best stadiums in the state for track and football. You got an incredible baseball facility right behind us, so they got it going on over here in Middleton.
Top notch. I know my son and I have been looking at a lot of colleges around the Midwest, and some of them, even D1 schools, don't have a field as nice as the baseball field right here, and it's pretty incredible. As a pass complete on second down, going to bring up 3rd and short for the Red Hawks.
Well, as you mentioned, Rich, tonight's the last night of the regular season for high school football, so a lot of playoff teams have already been determined. There's a number of other ones around the state that could qualify tonight. We'll kind of go over a couple of those as the night goes along.
Yeah, including even here in the Badger South Conference, as Eric Rogers and I also break it down every week on the Sporting News. Speaking of breaking down, the offensive line did right there as Edgewood is able to stop Van Natta in the backfield.
Noah Rieger, 6 foot. I don't know if that's the guy that I have on my roster, but he's the one that made the tackle for no gain there to hold him down to a 4th down here.
4th down, and it looks like Coach Lee and the Red Hawks are going to go for it. And in a game like this, we might see this quite a bit here this evening. Both teams just looking to get a W to cap this 2017 campaign. So 4th down now, Van Natta changes sides, maybe as he's looking at the defense and where the blitz might be coming from. He's actually going to go out and look to block for Weitzel. Weitzel makes a nice move and powers ahead for a 1st down. He got some of that on second effort.
Yeah, the Crusaders defense almost had him in the backfield. Again, number 64, which I made a mistake, he was the one that made the tackle on that 3rd down play. Andrew Newton, 6'2", 230-pound junior, just about had him in the backfield but couldn't quite wrap him up.
So the chains move here, 1st down, and the Red Hawks reset at the 37-yard line of Edgewood, their 2nd drive of the night. Out of shotgun once again, Weitzel going to keep it himself as he faked the pitch. Good run by Weitzel, and he is really close to a Festival Foods 1st down, as it looks like he is just shy as we have our first sideline report of the night. Let's head down there for that right now.
We're taking a break from the Cheese Bowl for a Dale's Heating and Air sideline report, and with me now I have the Edgewood cheer team. They are still out here in the rain tonight, getting everybody excited for the game, and we have got the whole crew with us tonight. And you guys are really in the preparation stage for your competition season. What do you guys do to really prepare for that? Sounds like that's sort of the winter seasons and when your competitions are.
Yes, we have practices all through the winter to get ready. We have all our routines to get them ready. We practice a lot, sometimes every day during the week, just to get ready for the competitions.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of prep that you guys have to put in. And I have to brag on you a little bit here, Katie, because you are the captain and you're the only senior on the team. What is that like, leading the team and being the only senior?
So I guess I've been on the team for 4 years. I've looked up to the seniors on the team every year, and now it's my time. And this year we had more new members than returners, so we really had to grow as a team, become like a family over the summer. And I would say that we've grown so close that the grades don't even matter. We're all just kind of like a tight-knit family, so it's awesome.
I love that, and that shows because you're still out here tonight in the rain doing your thing. And you guys are actually performing at halftime tonight. What can we see from that performance? Sounds like you guys choreographed a lot of the things we're going to see.
Yeah, so every member on the team, freshmen, sophomores, juniors, we all got our own sections of the dance to work on, and then we all kind of put them together.
Love it.
And so, yeah.
Can't wait to see that, so stay tuned for halftime. This has been your Dale's Heating and Air Sideline Report, and let's head back to the game.
Very tough work tonight for Ellen Barrett, who has to be out there in the rain. And speaking of tough work as well, we get to see Jackson Sadi, that is, go absolutely nowhere as the Edgewood defense trying for a goal line stand.
Steady dose of the rushing attack for the Milton Redhawks have got him down into the red zone here and bring up a 3rd and goal here from the 6-yard line for the Milton offense.
Van out of the back in the backfield next to Weitzel. 4 wide receivers now. Blitz coming straight up the middle that is picked up. Time for Weitzel to throw into the end zone. Nearly intercepted as he threw that right into double coverage, and Farney nearly picked that one off.
Yeah, it looked like the quarterback looked down at his receiver a little bit too long there. The defensive back made a great play on the ball. Probably should have intercepted that, would have thwarted the scoring opportunity.
So it's 4th and goal now. The ball is going to be resting on the 6-yard line, and it appears that the Redhawks are going to go for it here.
Well, you figure with the rain, the way it's coming down, sometimes that kick operation might not be as steady as you want it to be, considering the elements. Last game of the season as well, try to get on the scoreboard with a touchdown here instead of a field goal attempt.
Yeah, these are some of the toughest elements we have seen all year long. We have been blessed with good weather. Rolling right, Weitzel into the end zone pass, knocked away as at the last second making a nice play on the ball was Charlie Corcoran, and the Edgewood defense holds after the fumble.
So Milton went with quads to the right and did a rollout with the quarterback that way. Threw a decent ball, but the defensive back was right in his hip pocket. All he had to do was stick his arm out and knock it down. Crusaders ball.
So after a nice job of moving the football, the Redhawks drive stalls, and it's going to be 1st and 10 deep in their own territory for the Crusaders as they start at the 6-yard line. By the way, big thank you to Cricket Wireless for helping to keep us on the air. Friends and family mobile plans from Cricket, 5 lines for just $100 a month. Switch to Cricket and get more for less. Edgewood looking to get their 2nd drive of the night going and get out of the shadows of the goalpost, and maybe one way to do that is to keep it on the ground right here as a short gain on 1st down, as the give that time went to Greg Zentmeyer, the leading rusher for the Crusaders.
That was the exact same play they ran the last time they had the ball when they fumbled it, but they're able to hang on to it that time. Interesting formation. They come out in that pistol, but the fullback is in a 3-point stance. Normally you see him in a 2-point stance. It gets him right up next to the guard, right behind him, so he can get his lead block in right away, usually kicking out the end or doubling on the tackle.
Both teams been running almost exclusively out of shotgun play action. Another big throw for McNeil. Has his man on a dead sprint to the 30, 20, 10, 5, 92-yard touchdown to Drake Brent, who got behind the secondary and takes it home for a You Move Me touchdown, our biggest play of the year.
That's one of the prettiest passes and completions we've seen all season, as you mentioned, at any level, Rich. High school, college, NFL. You won't see a better pass than that, a better route, great catch, and then he just barely outran the defender for, like you said, 90-plus yard touchdown. Amazing.
Excellent throw by McNeil. Again, he has the big arm, but to be able to hit Brent without having to break stride is what made that a touchdown, and one heck of an exciting play. 92 yards for the 6 as Edgewood is going to take the early lead here and cap it off with the extra point. 7-0 is our score. 5:09 left to go in the 1st quarter. You're watching the Cheese Bowl presented by A1 Furniture and Mattress on 57 Sports. You know, it might be a rainy night here, but we're still going to see some beautiful things, and very few are more beautiful than this pass, as you see McNeil lofting it out there for Brent.
Well, I think the safety got caught looking into the backfield a little bit too much, thinking they're going to run the ball there because there was no help over the middle on that, and Brent just ran by him. Again, senior night, he's the senior. That's got to be one of the most memorable plays he'll have in his high school career.
Great hook up there in the 1st quarter for our first touchdown of the game, and a short kick fielded at about the 20 and taken up to the 30-yard line. Big hit there, and the Edgewood faithful that have made it out here are fired up. And I tell you what, when you're a fan of a team that is 0-8 and it's pouring rain outside, you make it out to a game like this, you are a diehard.
You're a fanatic.
Yep.
Fanatic short for a fan, but you got to respect the kids and the parents and the Edgewood community that is out tonight. Again, we talked about they play their home games here at Middleton at a gorgeous complex. Would love to see them over in their neighborhood. We'll maybe talk about that later in the broadcast. But like you said, Rich,
we
you got to
could
give
talk about it all night, Mark. And it is something to talk about because they got a wonderful campus there at Edgewood, a great facility for basketball. The football facility looks fantastic as well. But it's something about the neighborhood and the noise that they're worried about, the noise upsetting the neighborhood as a pass is complete out in the flats as it heads over to Chance Nelson.
Well, one of the things
picks
I've
up a
heard
short gain
from the neighborhood people over there is that they already have to worry about the Badger Saturdays and that people are there from 8 in the morning till midnight and parking and all of those issues. But we're talking about a high school game on a Friday night that you might get 1,000 people out to.
Right.
And it's 4, maybe 5 home games a year. Is it really that bad?
You know, it's that and even the Badger games as a first down as upended on the play was Blake Fuchs, and Fuchs trying to hurdle the defender and did on a pickup of 10. He nearly got away.
Well, Rich, every week we talk about some of the quirky rules at the high school level. That actually is a penalty. You cannot hurdle a defender when you have the ball at the high school level. Obviously, no harm done there, but they got to watch out for that.
Yeah, and how many, there's Badger Saturdays. There's only 5 or 6 a year. You're talking about 4 home games or 5 home games a year for the high school. It's 9 days out of the year that you might be inconvenienced just a little bit. I don't understand it personally.
Well,
I just don't get it.
You talk about the first couple of the games of the year in August. You're not even turning the lights on those games because the sun's still out till 9 o'clock at night. So it's really only 2 or 3 games in September and October.
8-yard gain by Weitzel, and now he is brought down right at the midfield stripe. Good penetration that time from the Edgewood defense.
I'm going to call his name out again. The Crusader defensive lineman, number 64, Andrew Newton. He's a junior, 6'2", 230 pounds. He's been in the backfield for these first couple of drives with the Red Hawks, doing a lot of damage back there. He's playing like a man possessed. He was on special teams. I saw him make a tackle. He's all over the field so far.
Brings up a big 3rd and 4 as Weitzel's going to look to take it himself over the left side. He found room, and he found it wide open down the sideline. Weitzel sprinting for the end zone, breaks the tackle, touchdown. We have big plays here in the first quarter of the Cheese Bowl as Weitzel goes 50 yards for the score.
Well, the junior quarterback, 6'2", 180 pounds, he ran with some power there down that sideline, having a couple of tacklers slip right off of him. So he did a great job getting to the corner, getting to the edge. Looked like the Crusader defense thought he was going to run out of bounds. It kind of let up, and he went right down that sideline and scattered in for a touchdown.
The Red Hawks respond in a big way. 50-yard scamper for junior Danny Weitzel, and now looking for the equalizer here as Tyler Hughes is on to try and knock the extra point through. Weitzel gets the hold down, and it's blocked. No good as the extra point is blocked there. A special team stand by Edgewood keeps the lead on their side for now. It's 7-6 Crusaders from the Cheese Bowl on 57 Sports. It was a 3rd down and 4 for Weitzel and the Red Hawks from midfield, and he's kind of tiptoeing on the sidelines. I didn't realize he had that much room.
Yeah, you look at the Crusaders' defense, and again, like I said, it looked like they may have thought he was just going to get pushed out of bounds by somebody, and nobody got him there. He had a wall of blockers once he got to the edge, and then he was able to scamper down the sidelines for a touchdown. Again, this is going to be a competitive game. Pretty exciting so far, first quarter.
Absolutely. The safety, Farney, lost him at the 10-yard line there. And, when you are a defense, you kind of think of that sideline, though, as the 12th defender, don't you?
You certainly do. And so, those guys that are maybe chasing the quarterback a little bit might see another defender, teammate ahead of him going, oh, he's going to shove him out of bounds. And he gets by him, and he's off to the races.
Very entertaining first quarter so far. We thank you for joining us and thank Dale's Heating and Air as well. Brian Olson was at my house last week and fixed my furnace.
Really?
Absolutely. He came out personally. Brian Olson from Dale's Heating and Air Conditioning. He's the one you see on the commercials and out at the games as a kickoff is brought back to the 20-yard line. Give them a call yourself. Dale's Heating and Air, they did a great job on my furnace, and they are putting your comfort first. So long field again for the Crusaders. They got a big play the last time. You know, one thing we didn't see when we saw them against Stoughton, we haven't seen it yet tonight, though, is a sustained drive. That's something that's been missing from the Crusader arsenal.
Well, they've been consistent both running and passing the ball. Injuries, I'm sure, play a concern into some of that, but that is something that you would like to see. But, hey, you'll score a touchdown. You'll take it any way you can get it.
Coach Minner was shedding some light on some of the injuries during our pregame show, as the give is going to be to Zentmeyer, and Zentmeyer brings it up to the 25-yard line and a pickup of 4. Actually, check that. That was Mitchell Wendler on the carry for 4 yards.
And Coach Maynard's one of the deans of the Badger South Conference. He's been coaching for a long time in the area, has a lot of respect of other area coaches. He talked to us about how when his quarterback, Thalen, went down earlier in the season, Jack McNeil, who's not 100% healthy, stepped in and has put the team on his shoulders, so to speak, and has been leading them even though he's banged up a little bit himself.
I thought it was kind of interesting as well as we were talking as McNeil drops back again, throws it out long and nearly intercepted. That ball hung up there just long enough for the safety to get into position. That's Blake Fuchs, who nearly had the pick.
You're absolutely right, Rich. So McNeil, who's got the big arm, probably put a little bit too much air underneath it. Want to put it on the sideline. It's got to be, you cannot short arm a throw to the outside, or you can let that defensive back undercut it and have a chance to intercept the ball.
Little off his back foot as well, so it's going to bring up 3rd down and 6 now for the Crusaders. Again, looking for some kind of a sustained drive out of the shotgun. McNeil, time in the pocket, throws over the middle. That one's nearly picked off. Batted around once again as the Milton defense is up to the challenge.
So linebacker number 9 for Milton, Devin Miller, was sitting right back in his zone, just reading the quarterback. McNeil didn't see him and pick him up, thought he had his receiver open on a slant pattern, almost got that one picked off 2 plays in a row.
You know, we were talking to Coach Minner during the pregame show, the 10-Pin Alley pregame show, and he told us kind of a scoop. Edgewood a couple weeks ago highlighted in the State Journal as the pressure's on the punter, and they might have got a piece of that ball, did the Redhawks, but it still takes a good Crusader bounce all the way to the 40-yard line. That could have been a lot worse. But going back to Coach Minard, we were kind of surprised. The State Journal article said that Edgewood wanted to leave the Badgers South. Enrollment's a problem. Getting enough people to play is a problem. But Coach Minard shed some light on and said, hey, yesterday afternoon we kind of rethought that.
Right, and so he was thinking about going to the Rock Valley Conference. So most of those schools there would have had similar enrollments as Madison Edgewood. But I think after they kind of took a look at everything, talked to some of the other area coaches, maybe talk to their kids about who's going to come out next year. And they got 50 kids suited up tonight. It is an issue around the state with the WIA. We could talk about that throughout the night as well.
Yeah, some of those issues are hitting almost everywhere around the country. In fact, as far as football participation rates have gone, one thing that I was looking at, it's happened everywhere. There's been a precipitous drop as a long pass down the middle is complete. Wow, what a hookup as the pass complete out to Chance Nelson, and Nelson at about the 32-yard line on a pickup of the play at 28 yards and a Festival Foods first down.
Well, oftentimes that post pattern seems like it's easy to complete, but when you got a lot of bodies in the middle of the field, that's not easy. You got to be accurate with it, and he certainly was on that throw.
Milton opening up the offense here a little bit now as Weitzel reaches out inside the 30 down to the 29. He picks up a quick 3 as he is the leading rusher now. 7 carries, 78 yards, and a touchdown run for Weitzel here in the first quarter.
Well, they got to be excited about Weitzel. He's only a junior. He's got over 1,300 yards passing, 300 yards rushing. So Coach Lee has got to be excited to have him coming back for a senior year next year.
Got a shot of a Hardy student section there as Weitzel out of the shotgun looking to throw. Swings it over to the left side. Complete, room to run. Another first down to the 28-yard line. Pickup of 10 out to Dane Nelson.
And this is one of those games with the weather as it is, that those hitch routes, those quick passes to the outside can be dangerous, because if you miss the tackle, like you just saw there, you can pick up 10, 15 yards a pop.
Yeah, even though the footing might be good out there on the artificial surface, everything else is wet. The football's wet, jerseys are wet. It's hard to grab a hold of a guy, but not too hard right there, as Weitzel's brought down after a short gain on first down.
Well, again, that interior part of the Crusader defensive line, they've been stopping the running game there. And again, I've said his name multiple times tonight, but I think he was in on that tackle again, number 64, Andrew Newton, having a heck of a game, heck of a first quarter.
Redhawks into the red zone once again. Second down, and we'll call it 9 here, a pickup of only 1 on first down. Man in motion is Nelson. The give is going to be to Van Natta, and he tries the left side. Doesn't get very far. Pickup of a couple. 5 carries, 20 yards for Van Natta in the first quarter, and that'll probably be the last play of our first quarter, as we might have an injury. It's actually an Edgewood player went down after the play. So we'll step aside. We'll come back as it's a You Break, I Fix timeout. 7-6 our score. Edgewood in the lead from the Cheese Bowl and 57 Sports. All right, they're just ticking away the final few seconds here of a pretty eventful first quarter. Big plays in the rain, the mist, and the fog from Brighton Box Stadium. Quarter number 2, straight ahead of the Cheese Bowl on 57 Sports.
Hi, and welcome back to the A1 Furniture Cheese Bowl. We are standing here taking a little break from football, as you can see, for a Dale's Heating and Air report. I'm with Ellen Barrett, and boy, this is quite the evening.
Oh my gosh, the rain has not let up at all tonight, but they're still playing. It's currently 57 degrees, so it's not too cool. Not a bad temperature-wise, but it does look, as far as the radar goes, that the rain is not going to let up anytime soon. We've got a couple storm clouds, but thankfully it doesn't look like any thunder or lightning heading our way, just some showers.
And that's good news, because as soon as that lightning hits, that's where we really get into the delays and can really drag a game out, which gets tough for the players and the fans. We've got some fans that are here in the stands, definitely not fair weather fans.
That's what I was going to say. I'm pretty impressed. You can probably see our student section behind us over here for Edgewood. They've got quite a large crowd considering, so it's really fun to see, and they're having fun with it.
Boy, not only the fans, but the cheerleaders, the band, everybody is sort of faring the weather. It's really impressive. So lots of great support here at Edgewood.
Absolutely.
Thanks for the weather report, Miss Barrett. Thank you for watching. That's our Dale's Heating and Air sideline report. We're going to get back to the game.
Tough duty for the ladies tonight. Jessa and Ellen out in the rain. We are dry up in the press box here at Brighton Box Stadium. We being Rich Reynolds along with Mark Martinez. Quarter number 2, and it's going to bring up 4th and 11. And how about 4th and 16 as a false start? On 3rd and 7, Weitzel tried to draw. That didn't fool anybody at all.
Offensive line got a little bit hesitant in their stance and kind of fell back into that. So like you said, Rich, it is going to bring up 4th and 16.
And it is like a Courtesy really Ford penalty flag, as, by the way, Courtesy Ford, located in Sauk Prairie. They are your new truck destination at Courtesy Ford. It's courtesy that counts.
I was going to say, Ellen looks like she's got a nice umbrella down there. Whoever gave that to her is a heck of a guy.
You know, whoever would lend an umbrella like that to a young lady is one heck of a guy. I agree with you wholeheartedly. From the 25, Weitzel going to throw it up long towards the end zone. Farney doesn't come away with the interception, but that's okay, as it's a turnover on downs. And once again, the Edgewood defense bends but doesn't break.
Like you said, Farney did a great job at defensive back there. He didn't want to intercept that ball anyway. He just knocked it down. Yeah, that was a double move his receiver did. He didn't bite on the outside fake and just stayed inside. Throw wasn't quite on the money. Gives the Crusaders offense the ball back.
Edgewood coming back out on offense. By the way, there's kind of a fog here tonight. Almost looks like smoke sometimes, and it makes me think of Blow and Smoke Barbecue in Wanakee, specializing in great dining service, plus catering for parties large and small. Blow and Smoke in Wanakee. McNeil not deterred by the rain, goes long again and connects at the 45-yard line to the 30, 20, 10, and down to the 3-yard line. Another bomb. This one goes to Thomas Hartlieb.
Exact same route, just ran a post pattern, no safety help over the top, delivers an accurate ball. Thomas Hartlieb, junior receiver, goes down and catches it and almost makes it to the end zone before he's dragged down from behind by the Milton defender.
Hartlieb, the leading receiver on the team. It is a gain of 68 yards, and he was just brought down. That was actually, if you look at the replay, that was a horse collar.
Well, the Hartliebs are pretty well known in the area. We had one played quarterback at Iowa, one played linebacker when I was on the Badgers, Andy Hartlieb. I believe this kid's related to one of those two, but he's got the athleticism of both of those guys, I'll tell you that.
Absolutely athletic play there. First and goal from the 3. The give over to the left side and walking into the end zone. Touchdown as the give was to Zentmeyer, and the Crusader offensive line made it look easy.
They certainly did. They opened up a nice hole there, and he was able to go in pretty much untouched. And this Crusader offense, like we talked about, it's been a couple of big plays. They haven't established long drives. It essentially is a number of plays, but they've covered a lot of yardage tonight on their 2 scoring drives, Rich.
You move me touchdown there for the Crusaders as they look to go up now by 8 if they make this extra point. They blocked Milton's extra point, and we'll see if they can punch this one through. Looks good because it is good. 14-6 is our new score. Edgewood leads Milton. 10:33 till halftime on 57 Sports. Big pass play from McNeil to Hartlieb sets up an easy touchdown run, and this is a different looking Crusader team than we saw 6 weeks ago.
Well, Coach Minard said they got to give Jack McNeil time to throw, and if they do, they'll do some good things. And his pocket's been pretty clean tonight on both of those long throws.
Yeah, the offensive line of the Crusaders ruling the day so far as a kick fielded at about the 20-yard line and taken ahead to the 35-yard line by Chance Nelson. So good field position for the Redhawks, and Milton so far has been able to put up some big yardage numbers. They've had a couple of long drives, but so far only 6 points to show for it.
They do. Their quarterback's been a dual threat that we talked about, running and throwing the ball a little bit here. They're going to ride him for sure. But the Milton defense has got to be taking a look at their pass defense. 2 big plays like that. Normally, what they're playing is man with the free safety over the top, and that safety's been coming up to run support and getting beat over the top, not been able to help out those guys on those deep post patterns.
Weitzel 55 yards through the air, 76 yards through the ground through quarter number 1. That's pretty good as Cameron Van Natta tries the right side and gets a short gain here in the rain.
Other than the long touchdown run by Weitzel, they really haven't been able to get the rushing attack going up the middle because those defensive tackles for the Crusaders have been clogging up those inside running lanes as they did just on that play there.
Yeah, so far I would give the edge to both lines to the Crusaders. Offensively, defensively, they've been able to control most of the play here tonight. Weitzel going to try to take it himself straight ahead, and that's right into the teeth of the Edgewood defense and right where they've been having success, so it leads to another short gain.
Well, they run that play a couple of times, and it kind of looks like a busted play where they kind of fake the toss on the outside, see if they can get the linebackers moving laterally, and then Weitzel just keeps the ball up the gut, and there really hasn't been there so far tonight.
3rd and manageable now for Weitzel and company. 3rd and 5. Checks the wristband, shotgun now. As you take a good look as how they're adjusting now to the defense. So he looks over to the sideline, gets an adjustment, calls out another play. Van Natta changes sides, and now 3rd and 5. Quick hitter over to the right side, missed tackle, and it's going to bring up a 4th and 1. It's just shy of the first down is Jordan Schliam.
Well, the Crusaders are playing cover 0 on that, which means there's no safety help back there at all. All the defensive backs were on a receiver, and their linebackers were staying up close for the run. And that's why it was really tough for them to get out there, get that catch, and make the first down.
Fourth down, we're going to see the punting unit on as Farney retreats back to about the 22-yard line for the Crusaders. 4th and 1, and the Redhawks not going for it. Nope, this is maybe a fake. No, rugby-style kick and a good one. Good punt as Farney's driven back all the way to the 15-yard line. Now trying to get to the right corner, has some room. Good return over to the 32. A 17-yard return after a good punt from the Redhawks. By the way, want to say thank you to 10 Pin Alley. They brought us our pregame show today. They offer more than just bowling. 10 Pin Alley in Fitchburg. Let the good times roll. We're also inching closer to the Midwest Engine Service halftime show. Midwest Engine Service provides the best auto repair, brake service, tires, transmissions, oil changes, and more in Madison. They believe in placing you, the customer, first. All of their work is guaranteed. That's Midwest Engine Services.
Let's see if the Milton defense changes their free safety drop here.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. They've only been dropping one back deep, and the safety has allowed receivers to get behind them. It's burnt them twice, as this time they give up to the middle or up the middle, and it goes nowhere fast.
Well, they're primarily playing cover 1, which is man-free in another term, where the safety is kind of playing center field back there. All the DBs are manned up underneath, so it's called cover 1 or man-free with a free over the top. And that time the free safety floated to that slot receiver who's been the one killing him on that post route to kind of double team him there. So they're making adjustments.
3 carries, 7 yards for Zentmeyer so far tonight. 2nd down, McNeil in the pocket, little bit behind the intended receiver as he was looking for Thomas Hartley once again, but just a little bit behind him, and it brings up 3rd down.
And just as I say that, Rich, they go to a cover 0. The safety was covering the back out of the backfield. So, again, no safety help over the top. Had they gone with a deep route on something like that, potentially could have hit a big one over the top again.
Kind of amazing that they haven't stopped that yet. That is the one thing that has really worked well for the Edgewood offense so far tonight, as McNeil does like throwing that deep ball. 3rd and long coming up now, 3rd and 8. McNeil has time in the pocket once again, airs it out for Hartley, wide open at the 45 to the 40, shakes the tackler, still alive, and down to the 30-yard line. Big gain on 3rd and 8 as it is a pickup of, well, let's see, we'll do the quick math, 35 yards and a Festival Foods first down.
Well, Rich, when we saw Edgewood earlier this season, Hartley wasn't a factor much of their as a wide receiver for them, but we've seen tonight he's been McNeil's #1 target there, and you see why. Just ran a corner route, got the DB turned around a little bit. It was wide open to catch that ball, and for a big gainer for that Crusader offense.
Hartley now 2 catches, 103 yards. It's a pretty good average right there.
Put him on my fantasy league.
Right? First down, Zentmeyer, the carry over the left side, and one of the better runs of the night as Zentmeyer picks up 8 on first down.
And you can kind of see the offensive line for the Crusaders feeling their oats a little bit, feeling pretty good about what they're doing, not only pass protection, but run blocking too. And this Crusader offense is marching down the field.
Yeah, this is, as far as body language goes, the most confident we have seen the Edgewood offense look, and they fumbled right away on the first drive of the night, turned the ball over, but since then, they've had some swagger and have scored a couple times, and they're marching once again as the give is going to be to Zentmeyer, tiptoeing on the right side, and he will not get that first down, push back by a Red Hawk surge.
Well, we talked about it. Edgewood's 0-8, so let's be realistic here. They know what type of team that they have. But oftentimes, when you are a team that you know you're struggling a little bit, you're battling through some injuries, you get out in that first quarter and get some of these Badger South teams that are very good. We got 2 teams in the Badger South ranked at the top 10 in the state. And when you go up against teams like that, you can kind of get your momentum taken away from you early on. And it hasn't been, at least for the Crusaders. And, in fact, they have the momentum right now.
Badger South pretty much decided last week. Monona Grove with a big win over Stoughton in Stoughton. Alec Ogden going off once again in that game. Play action now. McNeil, deep pass over the middle and knocked away at the last second. Hartlieb got behind the defense, but it was poked away at the last second by Fuchs.
Blake Fuchs did a great job on that. He was beaten, no doubt about it. I think if McNeil would have led the ball a little bit to his left a little bit more, Hartlieb could have ran underneath it. But Fuchs did a great job closing it down there, getting his hand up there, knocking it away.
Great job on the replay, fellas, as you take a look at this rainy night here. Hasn't seemed to affect play all too much, though, and a nice job again by Fuchs, an athletic play of just poking that football away. 4th and a couple as the Crusaders going to go for it, but before they do, they're going to burn a timeout. Let's take it with them. It's a you break, I fix timeout. 14-6 Edgewood from the Cheese Bowl on 57 Sports. (14-6) is our score. Edgewood with an 8-point lead and a big 4th down and 2 coming up from the 23-yard line. Edgewood, one of their better and more sustained drives of the night.
Long 2 here, but I'm sure that offensive line, we said they got a little bit of momentum. I wonder if they're telling the coaches, hey, we can push them off the line of scrimmage here. Let's get these 2 yards on the ground.
McNeil calls out the signals, has a pocket, looks to throw. Hartlieb's open, but McNeil overshoots him at the 15-yard line. That play was there, but it's a turnover on downs.
Yep, and as soon as I say that, I'm wrong. I'm no Tony Romo up here. But if he delivers an accurate pass, they got a first down to keep the momentum going.
So the Red Hawks will go back on offense. Before they do, want to tell you about U-Break iFix. If it has a power button, they can fix it. Come in today for free diagnostics. U-Break iFix. What can I fix for you today? Red Hawks now looking to fix their offense. They've had yardage, but not a lot of points as Vanetta is thrown down in the backfield. Big loss once again. The defensive line of the Crusaders is up to the challenge.
So senior number 57, Will Pogue, way in the backfield for the Crusader defense, knocking him back for a 4-yard loss, bringing up 2nd and 14. Looked like he just beat his man and wanted to eat that ball carrier.
He did indeed, as it is 2nd and long now as the Crusaders showing blitz. They are bringing it. Weitzel rolls left, has a man out in the flats. Nice pass as it's up ahead of the 32, but a flag comes down in late, and we'll see if this is all going to be brought back.
Certainly in the neighborhood of holding for sure back here, what we normally see. It's going to back up Milton to be 2nd and about 24, 25 yards.
And erases what might have been a first down, is where they have that ball spotted. It might have been just shy, but instead they're going to walk it back in a costly penalty on the hold against the Red Hawks on that courtesy forward penalty flag.
So what the issue I think there on that play was Weitzel did a great job rolling to his left, delivered an accurate pass, but oftentimes when you're rolling left, the defensive line is going that way too. Your offensive linemen are engaged as the defender starting to flow towards the quarterback. You pull that jersey a little bit, ref's going to see that and call it holding.
So many times that guy out on the edge. So it is 2nd and 25 now. A long way to go for the Red Hawks. Shotgun formation once again. Weitzel with an empty set. As he is rolling right, he is getting pressured from behind and from the front as he goes down in the end zone, but I think they're going to mark him down just outside of the goal line at about the 1.5 yard line. Wow, that was almost a safety.
Curtis Thalen, another one of those seniors having a good senior night. Again, he just rolled to his right. He's a linebacker playing in that flat coverage zone. When the quarterback comes his way, if there's no receiver in his area, he goes after the quarterback, and he did just that and almost got the safety.
Red Hawks are going backwards. We, however, are going forward with a sideline report. We send it back down to the rainy sidelines.
And we are taking a break from the A1 Furniture Cheese Bowl. We have Cheyenne, who is a UW Health Medicine student, and we got a safety here going on in the game, so that's good for Edgewood, and that is who you are doing your rotation with. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
So what goes into that as a student? You're studying to do this as a career, is that right?
That's correct. So I have a full course load. I think I'm at like 16 credits right now. I go to class all day, every day, and then in the afternoon I go to Edgewood and I practice what they teach me in the classroom.
And what's the most difficult part about being on the sidelines for a game?
Definitely just after bonding with these kids, it's really hard when they struggle and see how much work they put in and just, watching them struggle and not everything going their way.
And then, so what's next for you after this is all done, your rotation?
Next semester I'll be at a collegiate rotation. I will graduate in May.
All right, well, we wish you good luck with that and with the game as well, so we'll let you get back to it, and we'll send it back to the boys in the booth.
Thanks a lot, Eric. He had called the safety. He was a little bit premature. I thought it was a safety, actually, on a pass play that went backwards, but instead, a botched snap. That goes out of the end zone. That is a safety.
Yeah, and you got to wonder if that's weather-related. Again, it's not raining much right now, but the conditions are slippery down there. He just snapped the ball, what sometimes we call a worm burner, just over the blades of the grass or the field turf down there. Too low for the punter to get right through his wickets, through his legs, out the back of the end zone. 2 points for the Crusaders.
The Red Hawks going backwards on that drive that started at the 25. It included a couple of negative running plays, penalties, negative pass plays, sack. I mean, everything went wrong for the Red Hawks there. They got to correct this quickly.
Certainly, and you talk about last game, neither of these teams are playoff eligible. Sometimes it's just the team who's more hungry who wants it. In the Edgewood first play of the game, or one of the first plays of the game, they fumble it, give the ball to Milton. But they've had the momentum ever since then, and they're playing like a team that really wants that first victory of the season.
Yeah, Edgewood 0-8 on the season. Milton started the season at 3-0. They have lost 5 in a row, so it's a combined 13-game losing streak between these two. But I would think that as a player, all the work that you put in for the entire season, you at least want to finish the season off on a high note.
Absolutely. Senior night, last home game for the Crusaders. Again, last game for these Milton seniors as well, so there's a lot at stake here.
Free kick, and this time we actually see him tee the free kick up, and it rolls dead, and boy, that was a live football. Good job by the Crusaders jumping on it at the 44-yard line. They get the safety and the football as they have now a 16-6 lead. Gives me time just to say thank you to Festival Foods. They bring us all of our first downs at Festival Foods. It's the little things. Visit your nearest Festival Foods today. Also, all of our touchdowns brought to you by You Move Me. You Move Me, your local full-service movers whose mission is to move you, not just your boxes. You Move Me almost makes moving fun. Usually it's not so much fun. I would have to say that 1st and 10. McNeil, plenty of time in the pocket, sails it out to the right sidelines, complete as a nice pass play as the hookup goes to Aaron Alston, his first catch of the night.
Rich, I got to tell you, that's a big league throw there. We talked about McNeil having that good arm, but he's on the opposite hash. It's only about a 6-yard route, but it's all the way across the field. That's a college-level throw, and he threw it accurately.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the athletic ability of Jack McNeil. I mean, he's got it all. Big kid, big arm. And what he has lacked from what we have seen all season is just some accuracy. 47% completion ratio kind of bears that out as well. Timeout on the field. Let's take a break along with them. This is the Cheese Bowl presented by A1 Furniture and Mattress on 57 Sports. Second down and 4 after the timeout for the Crusaders. 3:11 till halftime. They have a 10-point lead, which is probably unfamiliar territory for Edgewood this season. Zetmeyer breaks a run outside. It was started inside. Zetmeyer bounced it left and is able to pick up a Festival Foods first down on a gain of 5.
Yeah, you can just see the momentum and the confidence that this Crusader offense is playing with right about now. And you wonder a little bit about Milton. Like you said, Rich, they started out 3-0. They have lost 5 in a row. You got to think about what their mentality is right now. Here we go again. We've lost 5 in a row. It's kind of a weight on their shoulders here. We can see if they could bounce back and get some momentum back in this second quarter here.
Yeah, Coach Lee was talking about a couple games that were close as McNeil fires again through the arms of Hartley and incomplete on first down. So both of the games that they lost that were close happened at home. A 27-20 loss to Watertown that happened 3 weeks ago. Then last week, losing to Fort Atkinson by 7 at home as well. Those are tough losses.
They certainly are. And when you think about it, they've been playing Fort Atkinson for a number of years, right down the road from them. They probably are leading in that series with them, probably thinking they should have beat them. And again, that starts to weigh on your mind too, that maybe we're having some bad luck this season.
Yeah, win last week. You would think, okay, we got Edgewood, who hasn't had a win all season. We got them last. You're thinking we got a good shot at the playoffs. Now Milton, it's a huge letdown for the Red Hawks.
It certainly is. At the high school level, some of that mentality can seep in and drag you down. Momentum can shift in a heartbeat, not only during the course of a game, but throughout the season as well. And when you start to get your head down, you're not practicing as well as you should, it's going to show up on Friday nights too. And it can kind of snowball on you either way, for the bad or for the good. And we're hoping for Milton that they can kind of turn it around here in this last game.
Corcoran, no gain on second down, brings up 3rd and 9. McNeil rolling right, pressure is coming, throws it out right, had an open man, Hartley, but overshot him as once again you see the big arm from McNeil, but also some of the inaccuracy as well.
And partially that's going to be due from, they do take a lot of shots down the field, so his percentage is going to be lower because he's throwing 30, 40-yard bombs quite a bit, and he's throwing those passes because he probably didn't work with these receivers all summer long like the starter did. And so he's just trying to make some things happen. If he were to, kind of figure out that accuracy on some of those short and intermediate routes, he'd definitely be more effective.
Yeah, so far tonight, McNeil is 4 for 12, so he's only hitting on 33%, but he's got 201 yards passing. That's pretty good.
I'll take that.
Absolutely. As this punt is going to roll dead at the 20-yard line, covered there by the Crusaders. $1:52 until halftime. By the way, big thank you to the Nitty Gritty as they fed us this evening. Very good food, as did Wingstop. So both of them keeping us very well fed. Everything was delicious. So a big thank you to the Nitty and to Wingstop tonight. As I tell you, that's one of the great things about working in TV. I worked for years in radio, never got a meal once. TV, they keep us fat and happy.
Well, and oftentimes we get double meals, which I can't believe it. It's delicious, both of them. So chicken, burgers, cheese curds, chicken fingers. Oh.
And always leftovers for tomorrow, too. Absolutely love it. So a big thank you to all of our supporters tonight, especially the ones who feed us as the pass is complete. Weitzel hooks up on first down out to, well, he didn't get a number on that, as number 12 that was out there. That's Thelen. He gets his. Check that. I'm on the wrong page right here. I could do this job. Believe me, Tyler Hughes with the catch. And for Hughes, his first catch of the night on a short gain. Over the middle, Weitzel incomplete, as still bouncing around. That ball hadn't hit the ground yet. And finally, it's blown dead. It is now incomplete.
Well, I was going to say there was a minute 52 when this drive started for Milton. What a better way than to turn the momentum by driving right down the field and scoring before half. We'll see if they can kind of get their offense together. It was kicked right there.
It was kicked twice
25.
by Farney. So instead of hitting the ground originally, it hit the top of his foot. Then he kicked it again trying to go for it, kept it alive, almost a miracle interception. What a crazy play. 3rd down and 6 now. 5 wide receivers, 4 of them to the left. Weitzel rolling left. Looks to throw, has a man out at the 30-yard line. Hughes was pushed back initially, but is able to regain his momentum, bring it out to the 36 and get a Festival Foods first down, pickup of 12, Weitzel to Hughes.
And that's why coaches stress fundamentals. You don't want to do that NFL tackling where you're just trying to knock some guy with your shoulder and think you're going to put him to the ground. You got to wrap up, put your shoulder in his belly, put your arms around him, and take him to the ground.
Give up the middle right now. Actually, Weitzel keeps it himself and picks up a short gain, and the Red Hawks will go ahead and burn a timeout after Weitzel gets a pickup of about 2 yards on the play. Actually, pretty good rushing half for Danny Weitzel. 12 carries, 85 yards, and a touchdown. The big one came on a 50-yard touchdown run back in the first quarter. You know, we brought this up a little bit earlier, and we're talking about participation rates, and we're talking about guys going out for football. It is down in every state around the country, football participation is, except down south. So you take a look at the deep south, Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia,
Florida,
states
Texas.
like that, Florida, yep. The rates are about the same as far as participation goes. Everywhere else, it's going down. Big reason for that? CTE, concussions, is that what's scaring people more?
I'm sure safety's playing a part into it. There's all kinds of other sports out there. Baseball, as you know, Rich, bleeds into the fall nowadays. There's volleyball, there's lacrosse, there's soccer, cross country. There's a number of things out there that guys could play. We're seeing the youth level numbers dropping as well. A lot of youth are going to flag football, which there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, concussions and the safety issue that are out there, I'm sure are making some parents worried about having their kids play football at that youth level, which is going to trickle up into the high school varsity level as well.
Yeah, it has definitely been having a big impact. And, you know, we do love watching these football games, but it does seem almost every week like you do see some kids getting hurt. Yeah, that kind of stuff, the bruises, the little getting banged up here and there, really doesn't bother you that much. It's what's going on inside the helmet that sometimes you do have to worry about. And all you can hope for is that they're teaching guys to be safer and safer as they play. Weitzel under pressure, takes a big hit, throws it into triple coverage. It's incomplete, but it draws a flag. And boy, real tough throw by Weitzel as he got popped.
I'm not quite sure what the penalty is on there. He was surrounded by 3 defensive backs. I'm not sure if number 3 climbed over to try to get to the ball or not. But I'd like to see the replay on that to see if we can see anything.
Yeah, I didn't think that there was anything there when I called it initially, but the refs are a lot closer to it, and sometimes when you do take a look at it on the replay, you can see exactly what happened. So big hit there. You see Weitzel get buried, and I'm still not sure I see where the interference was.
Unless there was something there where our angle was blocked a little bit because there were 3 Crusader defenders around the receiver. I'm not sure if the jersey was pulled or what was there. It looked like a clean play, but like you said, Rich, the guys in the striped shirts are a lot closer to us. Maybe he saw something.
So 56 seconds for the Red Hawks. This would be big if they could put some points on the board before halftime. They still have 2 timeouts as well as Weitzel out of the shotgun from the 45-yard line. Passes it off to the left side. Fuchs makes the catch and gets out of bounds at the 38. Nice play as it's a pickup on the play of about, 8 yards. And the clock is stopped as well.
Yeah, this would be a big confidence booster for the Red Hawks, as we talked about. It looked like Crusaders had the momentum here in the late first quarter and all in the second quarter. But now Milton's putting on a drive here with 51 seconds. See if we can get some points on the board for the Milton Red Hawks.
Weitzel throwing the football 9 of 13. He is connected on tonight, so he has been very efficient, and now he takes off. Draw play and well scripted here. Weitzel still on his feet and brings it down to the 19-yard line. 19-yard pickup by Weitzel as he danced right through the secondary.
Well, you could see he was running the ball, and it looked like some of those Crusaders defenders weren't sure that he was the ball carrier, and they just couldn't corral him there. He made some nice shifty moves and was able to get down to the 20-yard line. Nice run by Weitzel.
And he breaks the century mark, 104 yards for Danny Weitzel running the football. The Red Hawks in the red zone once again. Clock ticking inside of 30 seconds now for the half. Pass out to the right is complete and brought down at the 10-yard line is Nelson, I believe. Yep, Nelson making the catch at the 10. The clock is stopped now as the Red Hawks burn one of their final 2 timeouts.
And Rich, what you're seeing is the difference between somebody who's been playing quarterback probably for, as long as he's been playing football. Weitzel is accurate on his delivery, on his short routes, intermediate routes. And McNeil, who's a great athlete, he's got a big arm, but he's more probably a tight end for most of his career. And he's trying to fill in, doing a good job at quarterback for the Crusaders, but just not quite as crisp and clean as Weitzel is.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I've been pretty impressed with Weitzel here tonight. Some of the decision-making, definitely the athleticism. And that's got to be a big, a point of feeling good if you're the Red Hawks for next season, because
Absolutely.
he's going to be a senior next year and only get better.
Absolutely. He's having a heck of a year as a junior. I'm sure he's going to get all conference honors, and he's for sure going to come back and lead this team next year. So Coach Lee has got to be, licking his chops a little bit for next year, thinking, man, what could have been this year, but he's got a good senior leader coming back at the quarterback position, at your trigger position next year.
And the Badgers South is a conference that has Alec Ogden at the top of it as far as quarterback play goes. So being mentioned in that breath is good company indeed. Weitzel into the end zone, overshoots his intended receiver, and another courtesy Ford flag. I don't think that ball's catchable.
I think the referee on the sideline is going to talk with him and say, I'm not sure. It looked like the receiver ran into the defender. And if that's the case, that's just getting your legs caught up. That shouldn't be a penalty. But again, the refs are a lot closer than we are.
Yeah, and that ball was way out of bounds. They do call pass interference on the offense. Okay, so and that I guess could make a little bit more sense. But again, I'm still in the mindset. I'm not sure how this works. If the ball's not catchable, it's not pass interference on the defense. If the ball's not catchable, why should it be pass interference on the offense?
Well, again, I think this is one of those quirky high school rules. There's no ruling at the high school level if a ball is catchable or not. That's at the college and professional level. At a high school, you run into a guy like that. They're supposed to let plays like that go along. Incidental contact, when guys are running into each other, that's one thing. If the offensive guy pushes or holds the defender and prevents him from getting to the ball, that should be pass interference.
I'm glad we got you here for the rules. We're so used to watching football on Saturdays and Sundays, and would not know that that was the case. So now Weitzel, plenty of time in the pocket, going to loft it up deep over the middle, and it is picked off. The safety just playing center field was waiting there for it, and I believe it's Farney who's had a chance at a couple balls so far here tonight. He comes up with one here as Weitzel, looking on the replay, was finally under pressure, and it made for a bad throw.
It certainly did, and Farney did a great job back there. He started to drift to his left to double on the outside receiver over there for the Redhawks, saw the quarterback throw the ball up, adjusted to the flight of the ball, and intercepted it to thwart the potential touchdown drive for Milton.
The bend don't break defense of the Crusaders comes through once again as the Redhawks are stymied right before the end of the first half, and we will have the Midwest Engine Service halftime show coming up after the final 10 ticks here as, boy, Edgewood lining up almost like they're going to run a play, but I would think at this point, discretion's a better part of valor. Take a knee, kid.
I agree.
And now they are going to tighten up this formation a little bit and get into that victory formation, and that's a much better play call as McNeil will indeed take a knee. That will be the end of the first half and probably the best half of football of the entire season for the Edgewood Crusaders. Their faithful fans love it as Madison Edgewood leads Milton 16-6. Here at halftime, it is time now for the Midwest Engine Service halftime show. We got the ladies and Eric Rogers standing by. Take it away.
All right, thanks, guys. Well, it is time for halftime here at the A1 Furniture and Mattress Cheese Bowl. Edgewood coming out of half as we head into the half. We are taking a break from football, as you can imagine, but we've got a great halftime show, including Eric Rogers here, who is going to tell us a little bit about what the guys are experiencing out there with these wet conditions.
We're also going to talk about not only the wet conditions, but a little bit of a growing story, developing story here with Madison Edgewood Athletics. Ellen, what else? What's going on?
Exciting stuff. Well, also Edgewood Cheer is going to be performing at the half, and this is a routine that they choreograph themselves. We're also going to talk to Milton Cheer, we're going to talk to students and the athletic director, so it's going to be a great halftime show.
Certainly looking forward to it. We hope you'll stay tuned for the Midwest Engine Services halftime show. That's all coming up after the break here at the A1 Furniture and Mattress Cheese Bowl.
Welcome back to the Midwest Engine Services halftime show. We're seeing a performance out here right now from Edgewood, and we've got the Milton cheer team right here. And you guys traveled from a pretty significant distance to be here tonight. You've got a pretty good turnout. What goes into keeping the crowd so pumped up, especially when you're the away team?
I don't know. Everyone's super. We have a lot of school spirit, so I think that everyone's always just super excited to come out and support the team.
Absolutely, and it's been really cool to see just how I think in the cheer community, you guys all support each other. I heard you guys mentioning before we got started, kind of commenting on how they choreograph their own routine and how that was pretty cool. So it seems like in the cheer world, there's just a lot of unity.
For sure, yeah. We choreographed our routine at home too, so we totally get it, and yeah, it's awesome. We're super supportive of each other. We love seeing what they can do.
I love that. And I want to hear from you guys. Do you guys have a favorite cheer? We've got the whole squad. Let's hear it.
Touchdown, touchdown, do it again. We're on that line. One more time. Redhawks, bring it on in.
Awesome. I know I have to ask you, being a senior, Grace, do you have a favorite moment from the season so far?
Definitely homecoming. We always perform at homecoming, so for sure that.
I love it. Great work tonight, guys. Again, Milton cheer, and we'll head back to the Midwest Engine Services halftime show right after this.
All right, welcome back to the A1 Furniture and Mattress Cheese Bowl. We're having a good time here at the Midwest Engine Services halftime show. We've got some excited Edgewood fans. Boy, it's a sparse crowd here tonight, but the diehard fans are out here supporting in the rain. What do you think about that?
We do it all for the team. These guys need it. It's senior night. We're here to represent Edgewood and give them a good time.
Well, we appreciate it. You guys are great. Certainly not fair weather fans. No one will accuse you of that. And you're all dressed up this evening, so talk to me a little bit about tonight's theme.
Well, originally it was like pink out or something, but we decided it'd be a little bit more fun if we went Halloween themed. And I'm a proud Blackhawks supporter, and had to really break it out for the boys.
Well, I love it. And behind me, not only Jack, who's with us, who is a participant in fall sports, but representing a lot of fall sports out this evening. So shout out a couple of the sports that you're in.
Volleyball, cross country,
Boys, soccer.
All right. So not just football coverage here, we got it all for you. This has been a Midwest Engine Services halftime show. We've got more A1 Furniture and Mattress Cheese Bowl coming up after the break, so please stay with us.
Well, more halftime at the Cheese Bowl, the A1 Furniture and Mattress Cheese Bowl. And it's been a good first half for Madison Edgewood, up 16-6 over Milton. And I'm joined now by the basketball coach and the AD, Chris Swettler.
Yeah, good evening, Eric. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, so it's been obviously a good first half, and weather conditions played a big role. It looked like in the first half with some of the, obviously a lot of rain, and it sounds like there's not a lot of difference as far as no different uniforms or cleats or anything like that, but just more balls.
Right. Well, we're on turf, so nobody's going to get muddy. And so that's a good thing tonight, because I'm guessing there's going to be a lot of dirty jerseys across the Madison area tonight from the rain and stuff. But we've thrown the ball well. The kids have responded tonight so far. We're up 16-6, and the Crusaders could really use a victory tonight. So, yeah, they came prepared with, they have this all planned out. Our football staff has been through this a million times. So they came prepared to handle all the wet conditions and make sure that the footballs are dry, and these guys can keep their hands dry and be able to throw it and catch it.
And, it's not a team that's playing like they haven't won games yet, and it's, obviously last game of the year, it's senior night. What's in the other development was there was something about the potential to change out of the Badger South Conference. Give us a clarification on that.
Well, the clarification is this, is that at a district meeting about 3 weeks ago, one of the topics that came up was to bring back district football plan, which means that schools would then be grouped together in groups of 8 with schools that basically are more their size. And all Edgewood did, along with just about everybody else at the meeting there that day, we just showed support for that. It came out that we wanted to leave the Badger Conference. We've discussed all options, but we are very committed to the Badger Conference. We want to stay in the Badger Conference as long as we can, and we love it in there. But right now we got 45 kids out for football compared to 100 on some of the other teams there. But we're going to do all we can to make sure our program keeps going strong in the Badger Conference in football, and we want to be there a long time.
Well, there you have it. That is a clarification on that, and it looks like a good outcome so far in the first half. So we'll have that the rest of that game. We hope to see you for football season or basketball season as well.
Yeah, I look forward to that as well. Last time you guys were in our gym, we had a great outcome, so we'll look forward to that again.
Yeah, we appreciate it, and we will have more of the halftime show after this.
Back from break here at the A1 Furniture and Mattress Cheese Bowl. It's our halftime thanks to Midwest Engine Services, and it's been a good game for Edgewood so far. I'm joined by Paul Canarella, who is the owner of A1 Furniture and Mattress, a big supporter of high school athletics. Thanks so much for being with us.
Very welcome. Glad to be here.
So certainly faring the weather well in the stands. I saw that big umbrella out. You're out here tonight in support of high school athletics, but also your son who's on the field.
Yep, I do have a junior. Chase is on the field. Rainy night, but we're here to bear it out, and so far so good. Lead going into the third quarter here, so they're looking pretty good tonight. Kudos to both teams as they're playing hard.
Yeah, you bet. Well, we love watching a good game, and I know you're pulling for both teams always, but Edgewood not only for your son, but you're also a former Edgewood student, I understand.
I am. A few years back, I'm an alumni of Edgewood. Graduated back in '88, actually. So had a daughter that graduated this last year, and then of course Chase. So.
Well, a proud parent, I know, and one of the things that we appreciate most is your support of high school athletics, because without sponsors and supporters like you, we wouldn't be able to broadcast these games, and we get to pick some really unique games to cover. So just a word about why you choose to support high school athletics.
Sure. I think it's really important supporting high school athletics as well as all community things. We've done this now, I think, 4 years, and you can just see the excitement with the players and in the stands, even out the communities outside of Madison. It just brings a little extra excitement, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, you bet. Well, the coverage and the viewership and the support and the community involvement is growing year after year, and a big thanks in part to you, Paul, so thanks for being with us.
Absolutely, thank you.
All right, we've got more halftime show here at the A1 Furniture and Mattress Cheese Bowl, so we'll be back right after this.
Welcome back to the Midwest Engine Services halftime show. The rain has let up for a little bit here. It's been pouring down the whole night as everybody comes back on the field again. Eric, what do you think as far as conditions go for the players? Does it make it more difficult to play the game, slippery out there?
Well, Ellen, as a player who played on the field, backyard football, and no pads, mind you, it does make a difference. There's obviously the wet balls, which they bring in extra balls here tonight to keep that as a factor. We haven't seen too many of those turnovers. Some of the passes, there was a blocked extra point.
Sure.
So, I mean, it has played a factor, but also you're seeing a lot of the deep passes from Edgewood, and that's not really something you expect to see when it's a wet ball game, and usually you're getting those little short passes. So I guess it is not playing a factor tonight, but I would have expected it. So yeah.
Now, is this a turf field or is this a regular field?
Yeah, so this is a turf field, so it's going to have those pellets on there. And as you heard from Chris Swettler, the AD at Edgewood, and how it's not really going to have an effect as far as like mud on uniforms, which adds some more of that slickness. So. That part probably is helping out the players a little bit tonight. Yeah.
I know the fans are looking a little bit wet in the stands, but that hasn't seemed to stop them quite yet.
No injuries as far as the injury report's concerned. No fan slippage on the steel bleachers here. So it's been a good game all around as far as injuries are concerned.
Well, hopefully we have no rain for the second half of the game, and that's it for your Midwest Engine Services halftime show, and we'll head back to the game right after this.
All right, time for the second half of the Cheese Bowl, Edgewood and Milton, and a little penalty to clear up as we get the second half started from Breitenbach Stadium. Rich Reynolds along with Mark Martinez. Mark, a 5-yard penalty against Milton. Why?
The delay of game penalty, Rich, so both teams have to be on the field by the 3-minute warm-up period. Milton was late coming out of the locker room, and they get 5 yards marked off for this kickoff. That's why they're kicking at the 35 instead of the 40.
So Edgewood will get the ball with a 10-point lead to start the second half in what was easily the best half of football here in 2017 for the Crusaders. Kick going to be taken by Corcoran at about the 8-yard line, up the left sideline and up ahead to about the 26, and that's about as far as his forward progress will get. Edgewood offense did a pretty nice job through the air. Rushing the ball in the first half wasn't there. Only 26 yards on the ground, but get this, 217 yards in the air for the Edgewood offense and 243 total yards for the first half. That's pretty darn good.
Well, Edgewood's been pretty balanced rushing and passing this year. Not a ton of yards. That's not saying a lot. About 700 yards rushing, 700 yards passing. But McNeil's hit a couple of big balls. And look at McNeil right now, playing tight end or split end here. We got another quarterback in.
217 yards through the air on only 4 completions, as Hartlieb is the quarterback. He's also the leading receiver in the game as he takes it up ahead to the 35-yard line on a gain of 7. So, yeah, you know, it's kind of hard to believe here that, you know, you have that kind of success through the air with McNeil, and he's going to trot in right now and get back behind center for Edgewood. As you have all that success through the air, he's not even the quarterback to start the second half.
And maybe they saw something they wanted to run from a rushing attack perspective, give them a different look, something for Milton defense to prepare for. Hartley might be able to throw the ball out of that running play. They might come back to that later on in this half.
Yeah, it definitely got good yards. So on first down as McNeil now was looking to run right, then flips it back. Little shovel pass to Zentmeyer, and it goes ahead just to about the 37-yard line. That's a yard shy of a first down.
Well, McNeil's not going to be the running threat that Hartley is. As you can see, he's got that big, bulky knee brace on his left knee. Coach Minard told us, so we can tell you, he had ACL surgery in the offseason after last year. He missed part of the year, and he tweaked it a little bit this summer. So he's hobbling out. He's definitely not 100%, but he is trying to lead the team the best he can out there right now.
Give now is going to be to Zentmeyer. Zentmeyer reaches out and does have a Festival Foods first down. That's a big run right there for Zentmeyer's. Edgewood will move the chains.
And like we said, in the first half, we saw a lot of confidence building up in this Crusader offense, and we saw it there with the line getting the push on the line of scrimmage, enough for Zentmeyer to get that first down for the Crusaders.
7 carries, 23 yards for the leading rusher for the Crusaders. That is Zentmeyer. 1st and 10 now, and it's going to be McNeil who keeps it himself
Hartlieb.
and busts. That's Hartlieb, yeah, that was back at quarterback, and he's got some speed, brings it ahead to the 40-yard line. Nice pickup, 21 yards and a first down.
Well, we saw the speed that Hartlieb had out at wide receiver when he had that long post pattern that he almost scored with, got brought down at about the 8-9 yard line. And we saw his running ability displayed there. I promise you they have a pass out of this. They're going to try to get those linebackers to suck up, but I'm sure he's going to throw the ball eventually.
Hartlieb now is going to keep it again as he faked it to Zentmeyer, brings it inside the 35-yard line. And Edgewood's got something going here. They mixed it up a little bit, made some adjustments at halftime. So far, so good.
Well, I'm sure at halftime, the big uglies up front, the offensive line, went to the coaches and said, hey, listen, we're getting a push along the line of scrimmage. Let's start running the ball in between the tackles and see what we can do there. We'll come back to the pass later.
Yeah, they've owned the line of scrimmage so far. Whenever McNeil has gone back to pass, he has had plenty of time to throw the football, and it's McNeil who is back in there right now. Zentmeyer is the back that is behind him on 2nd down and 5. The pitch goes out to Zentmeyer, shakes off one tackler, stays alive, and gets back to the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 5.
Well, Milton Redhawks, number 46, Jackson Sadi, did a good job playing outside linebacker, of maintaining his edge control there, got vertical up the line of scrimmage there, and was able to turn the running back in to not let him get outside and prevent a good rushing game for the Crusaders.
3rd and 5 so far on the night. McNeil 7 of 15 for 219 yards throwing the football. That's a lot of yardage for not a lot of completions. His line has done a good job of protecting him so far tonight. He's got 4 wide receivers, Zentmeyer in the backfield, and a timeout as maybe the play clock running down on McNeil and the Crusaders. It's a U-break, I-fix timeout. 8:35 left here in the 3rd quarter. Edgewood up 10 in the Cheese Bowl on 57 Sports. Stick around after the game. We got some hardware to deliver. It's brought to us first by Brunzell Lumber. They do the offensive MVP of the game. Brunzell Lumber in Madison features quality building supplies like lumber, cabinets, countertops, millwork, interior and exterior doors. Let Brunzell help you with all your project decisions. Then we give out the defensive MVP, brought to us by Little Strokes Swim Academy in Waunakee, founded by former athletes and coaches. Little Strokes. 3rd and 5, McNeil with some pressure. Now is going to roll left, has some running room, dives forward, and looks like he has a Festival Foods. First down, McNeil once again flashing his athletic ability.
Well, for somebody who's hobbled a little bit with that left knee, a little bit bulky on him, he was able to see where the green grass was and just run to it. And he was a long strider, that 6'5", 250-pound kid is, but showed pretty good speed for a guy of that size to get the Crusaders the first down.
Green turf, Mark. It's turf out there. That artificial turf, that's actually, it's kind of fun to play on. You don't lose your footing in the rain. The other thing is it looks like grass, but you get all those little rubber balls on you when it's wet out there. Give is going to be to Hartlieb straight ahead. He squirts through the line, still on his feet, down to the 20-yard line. They finally blow his forward progress dead there after a gain of 9.
Well, Rich, I'll take those little black pellets in the field turf any day over the old artificial turf, which was essentially carpeting over cement. The rug burns you would get from that. Camp Randall used to have that. Other places did as well. I still have scars on my elbows and knees from that old artificial turf.
I bet.
It's terrible.
It was awful, and I played baseball on it. Never had the opportunity to play football on it. It was bad enough playing baseball on it. Absolutely awful stuff. What they've done with artificial turf nowadays, amazing. As Hartlieb's going to keep it himself as he got pulled. I thought it might have been by the face mask, but it appears not, as he's going to lose about a yard on the play and bring up a 3rd down.
Well, the Milton Red Hawk defensive line got penetration there. They're honing in on Hartlieb now. Every time he gets the ball, they're figuring he's going to keep it when he gets the shotgun snap. Eventually, they're going to have to give it to a running back or maybe have a quick pass for Hartlieb to be able to throw the ball if the Red Hawk defense is going to be pinning their ears back, coming back at him.
5 carries, 40 yards for Hartlieb on the night. 3rd down and a short 3. Out of a pistol looking like Zach McNeil has a blitz coming, evades it, throws left, incomplete, but a flag is down, and pass interference there, as getting there a little bit too early was Mason Ulrich.
That's the understatement of the year, Rich. Now that is pass interference, no question about it either way. And again, the defensive back was just holding his ground, and the receiver kind of ran into him. But either way, the ball was there, and that is going to be a penalty every single time.
Timing is everything in this game, and he mistimed that play, did Ulrich. But you won't get missed time when you look at our game clock, which is brought to you by Super Trooper Motors. Hey, it's time to get in and visit Super Trooper Motors for a $10 oil change. That's right, just $10 for an oil change. Plus, you can get a new used car at Super Trooper Motors, right? Meow.
Did you say meow?
Yeah, I said meow. Wow. It's right there in the script, man. You got to do it. I read the script no matter what it says. I do the Ron Burgundy thing.
That's been in the script the whole year. I just kept seeing you were trying to be funny.
I'm Ron Burgundy as a flag goes down again, as the give was to Zentmeyer, and we might have a holdout there.
Excellent job by the Milton Red Hawk defense, containing the edge, not letting that sweep, kind of jet sweep there, get to the edge. And they would have tackled him for a big loss, but they're going to get even more yardage here on what's going to appears to be a holding penalty.
And another courtesy Ford flag again, courtesy Ford in Sauk, your new car destination. By the way, all of our replays brought to us by Pacific Union Financial. They're the reason that they do what they do, or you are. Something like that. I got this. Join the Pacific Union experience and ditch the process. See what it's like when a mortgage company puts you first at Pacific Union Financial. So 1st and 10 turns out to be now 1st and 20-something, as that gets brought back almost 15
now
yards.
Now it's going to be 1st and 30 because he had too many men in the huddle.
So too many men out on the field going backwards now as Edgewood. This has been one of the prettier drives they've had all night. They've been able to score on big plays, but not that sustained drive. And
they had it going
this has
on
been
here.
One of the better ones.
They made some adjustments at halftime, as we mentioned. They had Hartlieb running the ball out of kind of a wildcat formation here. They had it 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line, and now it's 1st and 30 all the way back at the 31.
That's definitely putting them behind the sticks. They can get a first down without a touchdown, but they got to get it at about the 1.5-yard line. So a long way to go for McNeil, but he's got a big arm. He tries to get it back all at once for Hartlieb, just out of bounds and through the hands of Thomas Hartlieb at the goal line. A little bit more inside there, and that might have been 6.
That's exactly right, Rich. If he puts it on that back pylon and just lets Hartlieb run through the route, that's a touchdown. But he put it just a little bit outside the sidelines, and Hartlieb wasn't able to corral it in bounds.
It was almost money. Speaking of money, Monona Bank, they're not just your neighborhood bank, they're your neighbors. Monona Bank, today's mortgage rates, true mobile banking, and community involvement.
Wildcat again.
2nd down and 30. Shotgun formation, this time 2 tight ends for the quarterback McNeil, as he's going to try to keep it himself. Would have been better served to give it off to Zentmeyer. No gain on the play. The Redhawks sniffed that one out.
Well, you can watch the Milton Redhawk linebackers are not fooled at all when Hartlieb's at quarterback. They're not even dropping. They're coming right after their run reads and their run fits and filling all the lanes and not letting Hartlieb have anywhere to run any longer.
So a big 3rd down coming up, 3rd down and 30. I'm thinking the way the Crusaders have been playing football all night long, you might see a big long pass play coming up here.
Yeah, if you get intercepted, it's as good as a punt down here, but you got a long way to go. You might as well toss it up there.
2 backs in the backfield. You take a good look there at Jack McNeil. He's got time in the pocket, looking to load up and throw it long. Now scrambling, still looking to throw. Finally lets it fly towards the corner of the end zone. It's complete, but out of bounds, as good defense that time forced the receiver to go out of bounds. It's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, McNeil did a good job scrambling out of there, keeping his eyes downfield because he had a long way to go for a first down or a touchdown. Gives his receiver a chance, throws it up high, but he catches it just out of bounds at about the 1-yard line there.
Almost an amazing play. Wow, as McNeil again showing that athleticism and big arm. So 4th down now, and what do you do here? I mean, it's almost too close to punt, isn't it?
It really is. What you got to try to do is maybe put a guy on a corner route. So, meaning the slot receiver here, maybe send him down to the back pylon where he's going to get one-on-one coverage and drop it into that trash can over there and see if he can complete the pass.
5 wide for McNeil. A defender comes clean. Pass over the middle. Incomplete, as the Crusaders will turn it over on downs. That wasn't going anywhere from jump.
You know who McNeil looks like out there, Rich? Do you recall Andy Reid when he was on Monday Night Football as like a 12-year-old in the punt, pass, and kick contest? Did you ever see that footage?
I haven't, no.
Andy Reid, if everybody recalls, was an assistant. He was the offensive coordinator for the Packers. He's currently the head coach for the Kansas City Chiefs. When he was 12 years old, he was in the punt, pass, and kick contests. And at 12 years old, he was about 6'2", 220 pounds. He looked like a man-child out there. You got to Google it. That's what McNeil looks like out there at 6'5" and 250.
I'm YouTubing that one as give up the middle, short gain on 1st down for Van Natta, who right now that's his 8th carry of the night. 21 yards for Cameron Van Natta on the evening. Milton down 10 as Edgewood actually held on to the football for nearly 7 minutes there and came away empty-handed after a couple of penalties really put him behind the sticks. 2nd down now, rolling right is Weitzel. He's going to throw it up long, and that is going to be picked off. Well underthrown as Edgewood gets the 2nd turnover of the night. Both interceptions, and Weitzel needed to throw that one out there way further.
Junior defensive back Mitch Wendler was on that play the whole time, wasn't fooled at all. When it was thrown short, he adjusted, went and intercepted it, got the ball back for the Crusader offense.
The Crusaders have controlled the clock here in the 2nd half. They have had the ball the entire time except for 2 Milton plays. They come back out on offense right now, and I think this is a dangerous time here right now for the Redhawks. If the Crusaders can come down, put points on the board the way they've controlled the clock, this game can get out of hand.
Certainly, and again, they found something running with Hartlieb, but Milton adjusted defensively, kind of shut them down once they got into the red zone.
McNeil out of the shotgun. The rain starting to fall here once again at Breitenbach Stadium. Nice pass. Laser beam to Hartlieb, who's able to spin out of trouble. Still on his feet down to the 38-yard line. Nice zip on that ball from McNeil to Hartlieb as they connect once again.
So that's my combination. I'm sticking with Hartlieb at receiver, McNeil at quarterback. If you want to get Hartlieb the ball, have him come get it on some jet sweeps, put him in the backfield, toss it to him to get him on the edge if you like his speed. But he's a dangerous receiver. He's got to be the number one threat for McNeil to be thrown to tonight.
Festival Foods first down, 3 catches for Hartlieb, 128 yards on the night. That's pretty darn good. Definite threat. He also has 40 yards rushing the ball. Hartlieb up for offensive player of the night. McNeil rolling left, has a man out in the flat, evades a tackler at the 30, up ahead of the 20-yard line as the completion is good. Another Festival Foods first down on a strike to Mitchell Wendler.
McNeil just kept his eyes downfield. He was getting a rush. He had his backs both doing double swings to the outside. And when he was just about to get sacked, he decided to give the ball up, gets it to his back, was able to get a ton of yards after the catch.
Well, the boos are raining down just like the precipitation here, and I think it's because we have a courtesy forward penalty flag, and it could wipe out a gain of 17 yards.
Well, it's at the point of attack here, so it looks like it's going to be a late hit or a sportsmanlike penalty, so it'll still be a first down here. Instead of having the ball at the 20, they'll have it at the 35.
Well, that's unfortunate as Wendler picks up 17 on the completion from McNeil. McNeil continues to put up gaudy numbers here as he is closing in on 300 yards passing the ball here tonight. The amazing thing is that he's got nearly 300 yards on just 9 completions.
Well, like we said, when you're kind of a home run hitter, you're a baseball, use a baseball analogy. You got a lot of home run hitters now, but they got a ton of strikeouts. And McNeil's certainly a home run hitter with that big arm, but he misses on a lot of throws because he's throwing the ball 20, 30, 40 yards down the field all the time. You're not going to connect at a high percentage rate.
Connecting just enough here tonight. The good news for the Crusaders, it is a first down. The bad news is it's going to be 1st and 25.
That's hard to overcome. And here's where I think that McNeil, if he could fine-tune it a little bit, instead of going for that 20-yard pass, maybe hit a quick 5-yard slant, a swing out of the backfield, you know, an out route, a 7, 8-yard out route, and get a couple of, 8, 10, 12 yards instead of going for 25, 30 right now.
Yeah, like 3 8, 9-yard completions. Hey, that gets you a first down rather than getting it all in one big fell swoop. Instead, he'll hand it off to Zentmeyer, and Zentmeyer doesn't have a lot of room. Again, the run game really for the Crusaders, especially handing off to the tailback, hasn't been there all night.
It hasn't. They were getting some push off of the line in the second quarter a little bit, but it was usually on some sort of a sweep play where you cut the ball back a little bit. Direct, just man-to-man, big on big, the old-fashioned Bob blocking. You just block the guy right in front of you. They haven't been able to open up the creases for their backs to hit on those dive and lead plays.
Edgewood up 10, controlling the action here in the second half. The Redhawks need either a defensive stop, a turnover, something big to happen right now. Play action, McNeil with time is going for a home run once again into the end zone. Touchdown! Caught in the right corner of the end zone as a strike to Corcoran. What a throw, what a catch. The Crusaders, that's actually Hartlieb in the corner of the end zone. That combination is hooked up all night long.
Like I said, he's got to be your number one receiver, and we saw the big arm of Jack McNeil on display there once again. A quick out and up route by Hartlieb. He was able to outrun the defensive back and catch a great ball by McNeil for a touchdown in the corner of the end zone.
32 yards on the strike. McNeil to Hartlieb, a you moved me touchdown, and that one did move me. That was one of the prettiest passes we've seen all season long. McNeil on the money. Hartlieb now 4 catches, 160 yards, and that touchdown. McNeil is over 300 yards passing for the game. The extra point is good. Everything going the way of the Crusaders right now, looking for their first win of the year. They can smell it. They're up 23-6 here at the Cheese Bowl on 57 Sports. Rain is coming down here at Breitenbach Stadium, but it is not deterring the passing game of the Edgewood Crusaders. Look at this strike, 32 yards from McNeil to Hartlieb.
Well, they stayed with max protection to give McNeil enough time to throw. They only had 2 receivers out on the route there. Hartley ran a great route. McNeil delivered a perfect ball. Very pretty.
I'm kind of surprised when you have max protection like there's only 2 receivers going out. Why isn't he double covered?
Well, the safeties are playing too far inside, and they weren't, watching the ball. The ball is delivered on such a strike that they couldn't get over there to help anyways.
Perfect play, well-timed, well-thrown football. Great catch by Hartley. Everything was good about that one as a kickoff taken at the 25 and returned out to the 40-yard line. And the Redhawks right now have their work cut out for them, down by 17. And, boy, it's really surprising to see the Milton Red Hawk football team at this kind of a state. After starting the year off 3-0, on their way right now in jeopardy of losing their 6th straight game to end the season.
And like I said earlier, Rich, you win those first 3 games, you're riding pretty high, you're thinking you're 3-0, and then all of a sudden you lose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games in a row, and you start get that momentum turning, kind of the snowball effect here, and maybe they're starting to feel some of that mentally even in this last game.
Weitzel now play action, rolling left, has pressure, is able to complete it out to Nelson, short gain on first down for the Redhawks. Weitzel has been very efficient, 10 of 15 so far throwing the football tonight for Nelson. That is his 3rd catch for 36 yards.
And they have a pretty balanced attack as well, rushing and passing. Weitzel's passed for over 1,300 yards on the season. He's up to probably 15 on today, with today's game included in that. They got about 1,000 yards rushing, so they've been balanced. But now you're down 17 points. You got to throw it. You become one-dimensional.
23-6 our score, 2nd down and 6 as another completion and another first down is shaking off a tackler out there is Blake Fuchs, and Fuchs makes his 3rd catch of the evening, picks up 17 yards and a first down.
Yeah, you certainly don't want to concede anything right now. It's still a couple of minutes left in the 3rd quarter here. If the Milton Redhawks can get on the scoreboard right now, they're only going to be a score behind here, potentially, with a 2-point conversion.
We've had a lot of big plays in this game. We had 460 yards of combined offense in the first half. Also in the first half, we had some really big plays as a give us to Van Natta, a big run there. He gets 11 and another first down. In that first half, we had a safety, a blocked punt, a 92-yard touchdown throw, a 50-yard touchdown run, and we're seeing that continuation, big plays once again here in the second half.
Yeah, the Crusaders, if you're watching this game tonight or you're tuning in to see this game, you wouldn't think that these Crusaders, the guys in the gold and maroon, are 0-8 the way they're playing this evening.
Not at all. It is their game of the year so far. 1st and 10. Redhawks on the march, nearly picked off as Weitzel was looking out in the right flat for Tyler Hughes, and a great defensive play there for the Crusaders.
I was going to say, that looked like number 25, Murphy Penwell, outside linebacker, just falling into his flat drop zone there, and made a play on the ball, almost came up with the interception.
Yeah, it looked like Weitzel didn't expect him to be there at all. 2nd down and 10 now from the 33. Weitzel keeps it himself and is able to find some running room looking over the left side, but a flag comes in deep out from the secondary, and it's kind of in the area where that umpire likes to throw the holding flag.
Well, Weitzel sure is a powerful runner. He's 6'2", 180, so that's not a huge kid. But it takes a couple guys to bring him down once he gets free up the middle.
Holding is indeed the call. As, by the way, this is our last game of the year. We've been saying thank you to all of our sponsors all night long, but a big special thank you once again to A1 Furniture and Mattress. They have been our title sponsor for years here on 57 of both high school football and basketball. So to Paul Canarella, everyone over at A1 Furniture and Mattress, thank you again for supporting high school athletics and being our official Bowl Series sponsor. Please, if you need new furniture, you need a new mattress, head on over to A1. They are your premier mattress and furniture store.
Absolutely. Thank you very much to our sponsors, like you said, in particular, A1. We really love it when people support prep sports in the area.
I love using them. We bought a mattress from them, had Dale's Heating and Air over at our house last week. These sponsors do great work as well, and we're really proud to have them along. As once again, the carry is going to be to Weitzel, and Weitzel is near a first down.
I tell you, he runs hard. Like I just said, he doesn't go down on first contact. It usually takes 2 or 3 defenders to bring him down. Impressed with both his running and throwing skills tonight.
14 carries, 112 yards on the night for Weitzel, including a 50-yard touchdown scamper. 4th and 1, big play here for the Redhawks. They want to stay in it. They need this first down. Weitzel looking to do it himself over the left side. The Crusaders were there, but Weitzel slips through and is right at the sticks. It's going to depend on the mark. I think, though, from this angle, looks like he got it.
It's going to be close. They might have to measure. It looked like he was going to be strung out, like that Crusader defense was going to get him in the backfield, but he was able to slither through there and get just enough for a Red Hawk first down.
It is indeed a Festival Foods first down, and the biggest one of the night for the Red Hawks. If the Crusaders held there, this game is virtually over.
Yeah, they needed that.
So the ball now at the 32-yard line, clock running once again inside of 30 seconds for the third quarter. Weitzel continues out of the shotgun. 2 wide receivers left and right. Clock still moving here as he looked to the sideline, adjusting on the play. They got to get this play off. 8 seconds, now down to 5 seconds. Weitzel finally gets the snap, looks right, has a man wide open, and a connection as he is able to hit Jordan Schliam for the 3rd time here tonight. Picks up 13 yards, a first down, and that will end the third quarter. We might have a pretty exciting finish here. Don't go anywhere. 23-6, Edgewood leads Milton. We're just going to go down to the sidelines and head over to Jessa, Ellen, and Eric.
And that's the end of the quarter. We're taking a break with a Dales Heating and Air sideline report. And this is a Friday the 13th game. Now, people who are superstitious, it's supposed to be a very unlucky day, but it's looking pretty lucky for Edgewood.
Yeah, I guess somebody's got to be the lucky one and someone's got to be the unlucky one. So it's interesting how maybe Milton's superstitions are playing into this game. I don't know if there's any strategy there, but certainly lots of superstitions on Friday the 13th. If you're watching this on TV, of course, it's Friday the 13th has passed as we're into the weekend and Tuesday night games. But here tonight, this evening while we're filming, Friday the 13th. So any superstitions that you have, Eric?
I was a cross-country track and field guy, so every night I would lay out my uniform and everything as I was going to wear it, exactly how it's laid out. And if you're a fan of Cool Runnings, I had a lucky egg.
No!
I had a lucky egg.
Get out.
So it worked.
It's interesting. I was doing a little searching before we got started here just about football superstitions in general. And they really span anywhere from sitting down and eating specific cookies before your game to, you know, of course, for fans, have a favorite outfit that you have to wear every time in order for them to win. A lot of people have rituals where they set out their space to watch the game in a particular way. Some people have, you know, the lucky rabbit's foot, the egg, whatever you need to have your lucky token.
I'm down for the cookie superstition, if I can
think
get
that's
on
my
board with that.
favorite.
Absolutely. And there's lots of Friday the 13th superstitions we have here outside of football, of course. Crossing the path of a black cat, walking under a ladder, breaking a mirror, just a few that come to the top of mind. I was looking at some international superstitions that I thought was interesting. For example, in China, the number 4 is extremely unlucky.
Really?
Also, if you write someone's name in red pen in Korea, it's assumed that they're going to die. A really extreme one.
So stay away from that.
Interesting things that are going on around the globe.
Absolutely. Well, we'll head back to the game here. That was your Dales Heating and Air sideline report, and we'll head back to the Cheese Bowl.
Fourth quarter now as the Redhawks on the march and incomplete. Looking for Schliam there was Weitzel. The ball at the 10-yard line. 3rd down and 3 now for the Redhawks on this very crucial drive. As I'm Rich Reynolds along with Mark Martinez. And Mark, the Redhawks need to come away with points if they want to stay in this football game.
They certainly do, and my math was wrong earlier. Even if they score the 2-point conversion, they'll still be 9 points down. So they're 3 scores behind. They need this right now.
Absolutely, yeah. Even a field goal at this point keeps them in it. It gets them to 14. So it's 3 scores one way or the other, but you would love to get 6 here. Weitzel going to keep it himself after the fake to Van Atta, and he is going to get it down close to that first down. He needed to get to the 7-yard line. I think he got the yard line to make there and a first down.
Well, earlier this year, Rich, we talked about a father-son duo. The head coach for Baraboo, his son was on the quarterback on the football team. Jordan Sleem, number 81 for the Milton Redhawks. His grandfather is a coach on the Milton Redhawk team. Hall of Fame coach Jerry Sleem.
That's some good stuff right there. You know a lot of people, Mark.
I'll tell you why I know him in a minute here.
First and goal to go as it gives to Van Natta. Straight up the middle, Cameron Van Natta gets it down to the 2.
Well, we're going to have a second and goal from about the 1.5 yard line here. And again, they hurry up here to try to get their line set up and run a quick play to bust it into the end zone.
They're kind of lucky. The rain has kind of subsided here right now at Breitenbach Stadium in Middleton, which, by the way, one of the great facilities that you're ever going to see a game from. Fantastic stuff. The give's going to be to Van Natta, straight up the middle once again. This time, the Crusaders are stout as he only gets to the 1 yard line. Third and goal.
So Jerry Sleem's a Hall of Fame coach. He was a longtime head coach for these Milton Redhawks back in the 70s, 80s, into the 90s. He was also a coach for a semi-pro football team, the Delavan Red Devils.
Ooh.
My dad, Ben Guerra, played for the Red Devils and the Janesville Cavaliers back in the old Midwest Semi-Pro Football League till he was 38 years old.
Wow.
So I know Coach Sleem and his kids. We go back a long ways.
Great stuff, man. Third down and 1. Weitzel rolling right, trying to get to the end zone. He will not get there. The Crusaders are up to the challenge. They stop Weitzel at about the 2.5 yard line. Fourth down now. Decision time for the Redhawks.
Well, not only did Weitzel not score, but that Crusader defense stopped him short of the line of scrimmage. They got penetration on that right side of the offensive line there. Didn't let Weitzel get anywhere close to the end zone.
Quick decision here for Coach Lee. He is going for it. It is fourth and goal to go. The ball just outside of the 2 yard line, and a big play right here. Tight formation around Weitzel, the quarterback. He gets it, rolling right, trying to get to the end zone. He won't get there. The Crusaders hold as once again it's bend but don't break for the Edgewood Crusaders, and they stopped Weitzel cold.
I think linebacker Kurt Thalen was there, as well as the guy we've been calling all night long, number 64, Andrew Newton, in on that stop there. And check that, 64-74 was also on there. I don't want to forget him because he made the initial tackle. And Ryan Thorne, defensive lineman for the Crusaders, stopping him short of the goal line.
Well, Edgewood now, as we take a look over here, I'm not sure which camera I'm supposed to be looking at. Maybe that one right down there. And hello, this is our lovely perch here at Breitenbach Stadium. You know, the Crusaders taking over at their own 2 yard line. Here's something that hasn't happened often for Edgewood, as I'm not sure he was able to get out of the end zone. He wasn't. That's a safety. So Edgewood got a safety in the first half. Now they give 2 points back, as Zentmeyer could not get out of the end zone. And here was, I was just going to say this. You know, Edgewood's in a very different position for them. They're playing with a lead, and when you're not used to it, strange things can happen.
Well, we talked about their interior rushing was not their strength here in between the tackles, and all Milton did was just run blitz and got into the backfield, prevented them from getting out of the end zone. They get 2 points. Those are huge. Now it's a 15-point lead. Now it's a 2-score game. We just talked about that.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, because all the Redhawks needed was 3 scores. So even a field goal on that last drive would have got them within 2 touchdowns. Now their offense gets bailed out here
and
as
they
their
get the ball
defense
back.
comes through. Yeah, they get the ball back. They got 9 minutes, 10 seconds, and we've seen them put a lot of yardage and some big plays up. So that this offense is capable now of coming back in this football game. This one's not over yet.
Plenty of time. 9 minutes. You get the ball back. You go down here and score. You could be conservative and kick the extra point. It could be 23-15 with, you know, half the quarter yet to play.
And the Crusaders in a very different spot for them. They've been playing from behind all season long, every single game. The first halves have been really tough on this Madison Edgewood team, but they've led basically throughout this football game here tonight. They have not been behind once after scoring first after a 92-yard touchdown strike. And that one went to Brent, who, by the way, hasn't even caught the ball since then. But he had one big catch here tonight, as 23-8 our score, and Edgewood's got to give the ball back to Milton.
And they elect to punt it rather than kick it. We'll see if we can get a high punt here or a deep punt to pin the Redhawks back.
from the 20, free kick. It's Hartley, but that's not a good one. As he shanked it, it comes over to the near side, and the Redhawks are going to start on the good side of things, on the other side of the 50. And not only that, because it went out of bounds, that draws a flag. That's another 5 yards.
Well, what that is you could either elect to take the ball where it went out of bounds, or you mark off the penalty at 25 yards from the spot of the kick, or you can march them back 5 yards and make them re-kick it.
Yeah. Well, let's see what they elect to do here. A lot of options,
which would make them
Coach
kick it
Lee.
from the 15-yard line.
Yeah, that might almost be an enticing thing, but this is real good field position. I think you got to kind of do the math as where it would be from. I think they might be best off just
either take
taking
it at the
right
45 right here
at
on
the
their
45,
side, or you have them take it back to the 15 and re-kick.
Yeah, I would take it at the 45. That's what they're going to do. Yeah, I don't think you can expect another shank, and who knows what can go wrong.
That was brutal.
Take that ball at the 45. The Redhawks have all 3 of their timeouts, and they got a chance still in this football game when it looked like they were buried. They are still alive against the Crusaders. 1st and 10 from the 45-yard line. Weitzel, play action, looking right, has a man, and it is caught. Schleem able to make the catch out there.
So every team has some sort of a 2-minute offense, but this Milton team, they all have wristbands. So they can go right into their hurry-up offense immediately. All the players just checking the numbers on their wrist pad, see what play is called to get up to the line of scrimmage and get the move on.
We've seen almost 700 yards of total offense between these two teams in this game, as that is a run that is very close to a first down for Van Natta, and I'm not sure they're going to move the stick, so maybe he's just shy.
So you wonder if they think about taking a shot here. It's 3rd and 1. Is that Crusader defense going to be creeping up to stop the run? Maybe you could hit something over the top.
Yeah, and you know for sure that they're going to be going for it on 4th down if they don't get it here, as it's going to be Weitzel, who keeps it himself, breaks one tackle, and that was enough to get the first down and more. Still pushing the pile forward all the way out to the 26-yard line. That's 10 tough yards by Weitzel.
I tell you what's impressive about that, Rich, was he looked like he could have been stopped short of the first down even there, and he dragged 3 or 4 defenders at about the point of attack and was able to get an additional 8 or 9 yards on top of that, just pulling guys along with him.
Danny Weitzel, yeah, absolutely. 19 carries, 126 yards, and a touchdown here tonight. He's out of the shotgun. Clock inside of 8 minutes now. Weitzel being pressured, and they set up the screen as they let the pressure get through. Schleem makes the catch and gains 9 on first down. That almost could have went to the house.
Nice tunnel screen there where you have the outside receiver come inside, your lineman release and try to get up to the next level to get blocks out there. They were able to get a couple of blocks on, and Schleem was able to pick up almost another first down.
5th catch of the night for Schleem. 2nd down and 2. Clock continues to run. The Redhawks need some points, and they need to do it quickly. Plenty of time for Weitzel. Looks left and right through the hands of his intended receiver, Chance Nelson, out there. A little bit tall for him, and it's going to bring up 3rd and short.
Well, he was bracketed there by the linebacker underneath him, defensive back over the top. It was actually a perfectly delivered ball. Maybe, like you said, a little bit too high, but he might have been distracted with that linebacker cutting underneath him, wasn't able to see the ball coming at him.
Weitzel, 15 of 21, does have 2 interceptions on the evening. They were both big, as both times the Redhawks were driving. 3rd down and 2. Got to pick up that first down. Weitzel gives it up to Van Natta. Van Natta has the first down as he brings it down to the 15-yard line. They'll move the chains and stop the clock.
Well, one thing that this Milton offense could do that they haven't really done much of yet, the Crusaders defense is not playing with the safeties, so they could run a short slant route by the slot receiver. They could run a post over the middle on the outside receiver. There's not going to have any help there.
I love that you think like a coach. Weitzel throws with pressure in his face into the end zone, and just short intended for Chance Nelson. Good coverage out there on the play.
Well, he had 2 options out there because he had a wheel route by the slot receiver who did like a 2-yard out, then he turned it up the sideline, and he had a post route coming over the middle. It looked like he quite couldn't make up who he was going to throw the ball to, and they threw it in between 2 of them.
Yeah, that's never a good idea, as Nelson could not come back, make that catch. 2nd down and 10 inside of 7 minutes for our football game. a 15-point Edgewood lead, but that's looking a little tenuous right now. Once again, a screen pass as the pressure was there, but Van Natta is able to get it, and he scampers forward into the end zone. Touchdown. Edgewood gives it up to Milton on a You Move Me touchdown as a little swing pass to Van Natta, and they suck the Crusader defense in.
Exactly, Rich. Just a nice little swing dump pass out of the backfield to Van Natta. He's got a man right there. All he's got to do is make the one guy miss, and now the defenders are scrambling to tackle him, and he's able to wind his way into the end zone, and they're going to go for one here to narrow it to an 8-point lead.
Nice job on the replay. That view was better than my call on the You Move Me touchdown. That's the first reception of the night for Van Natta. Goes for 15 yards and the score. An imperative that they get this extra point right here, and it's blocked. Just as I said that, they had to get it because right now the game is back to 9, and the Redhawks need 2 scores. Wow, that's a huge play.
It really is, Rich, and you go back to it now. With both of those extra points, it could be 16-23. Instead, it's 14-23 in a 9-point game, so now there's still 2 possessions behind.
2 extra points blocked on the night. Great special teams there for Edgewood, although that one looked like the kick never got off the ground.
It looked awfully low. You don't know who it's on, what the operation was like down there. Was it a low snap? It just looked like it was kicked right into his own lineman almost.
Again, stick around after the game. We will give out the big trophy presented by A1 Furniture and Mattress, and we also have our offensive MVP presented by Brunzell Lumber, and the defensive MVP, which is given to us by Little Strokes Swim Academy in Wanakee. 6:48 left in this one. It's gotten good. It's gotten tighter here, 23-14. And see, this is why, a lot of people will say, oh, you're going to do this game, 13 combined losses, basically for these teams. One team's 0-8, the other one's 3-5. But this is why you do a game like this. This has been a competitive, fun football game.
It certainly has. It's been one of our best games of the season. We've had a lot of good ones. In particular, the very first game of the year between DeForest and Oregon. Oregon of the Badger South Conference went up to DeForest. Not a lot of people gave them a chance to win that ball game, and they did. And again, this game, Badger South competitors as well. They're familiar foes, and they're delivering a heck of a game tonight for us.
Absolutely. We have seen some good stuff this year. West against La Follette. Memorial getting a big win this year. We have seen some good stuff as
offsides.
They're going to bring that kickoff back. All right, the Redhawks will have to do it again. Any thought here now? You need 2 scores. Any thought of an onside kick?
I would have thought they might have thought about it right here, but now that you got backed up 5 more yards, you're certainly not going to do it here. You're going to kick away and just try to get your defense to stop them, and then you're going to onside it when you absolutely have to. I would not blame them for giving it a shot here, but again, if you do the onside kick here, they're going to get the ball at maybe the 47, 48-yard line in prime field position here. So you might want to be a little bit conservative and just kick
it does
away.
Look, yeah, like the Crusaders, though, kind of playing it. They got a lot of guys up here, and only 2 guys are back deep. So it almost looks like they might be expecting some kind of onside kick. At least they're prepared for it. The only thing you want to do if you're the Crusaders right now is make sure you get that football. And they're going to take it here at the 17-yard line. And that is Drake over there trying to fight for yardage over on the far sideline, pushed out of bounds at the 30-yard line. So it's 6:39 left here for the game. Edgewood, I think point number 1, if you're the coach, is tell them, don't turn the rock over.
Absolutely. Ball control. Make sure you hang on to the football high and tight when you're running it. Be smart if you have to throw it. Throw it to your man or throw it in the stands. Don't put anything up for grab, and give the Milton defense a chance to get the ball back for their offense.
And just to make it a little bit more challenging to hold on to that football, the rain has once again started here at Breitenbach Stadium. All the umbrellas are back out. 1st and 10. And the give is going to be to Van Natta over the right side. Strong run as he's up to the 36-yard line, and a good gain on 1st down.
So here's a time in the game when your offensive line, you'd like them to take over. This offensive line has been a little bit maligned throughout the season. We've talked about the injuries on the whole Crusader team. But they could put the team on their back right now and march this ball down the field, getting 1st down. Chew up that clock and don't let Milton get the ball back.
I might have said Van Natta. I apologize. Of course, that is Zentmeyer on the carry. Greg Zentmeyer now 11 carries and 30 yards on the night. 2nd down, and we'll call it 4 for the Crusaders. They are looking to run as much time as they can off the clock, waiting for that back judge to put his arm in the air. They do. McNeil will keep it himself, doesn't go anywhere.
Hartley actually back there
Hartley,
in that wildcat position. And again, Milton Redhawks, as soon as they see Hartley back there, they just tee off on him, and they're not going to let him get to the edge anymore. Got some laundry on the field.
Yeah, courtesy forward flags, 2 of them down in the secondary. I didn't even think that there was time enough to hold on that play. And
it came so late that it had to be some sort of late infraction, and it looks like the Edgewood guys are backing up. I'm thinking if they had 12 men on the field. 1, 2.
So they let him get the play off. If they had 12 men on the field, they didn't block very well. Unsportsmanlike. Wow.
Yeah, I didn't see that at all.
I'm not sure what happened there. So an unsportsmanlike conduct goes against the Crusaders as the ball is marched back all the way to the 20-yard line. And now it is going to be second and forever. Does it stay second or goes third down? Wow. Bad penalty right there.
It must have been something in the scrum there that we didn't see, because there were 2 officials that threw their flags. They saw something untoward happen.
Yeah, we missed that completely as it is now third down and 17. McNeil out of the shotgun. We'll see if the Crusaders elect to throw it here. They are. They're going for it as the pass is caught. Complete and first down yardage as fighting ahead on this first catch of the night is Jackson Wendler on 3rd and 17. The Crusaders pick up 20 and a huge Festival Foods first down.
It's that post pattern that they've been running all night long, and they kind of ran crossing routes. They had a deep out on their slot receiver, post over the top. Defensive back was just a step behind. Wendler does a great job catching the ball, but then fighting for extra yardage, getting the first downer for the Crusaders.
Wow, that might be a game-winning play right there as McNeil on the strike to Wendler. So that brings up a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10, the clock inside of 5 minutes for the football game. The Crusaders looking for their first win of the year. It is a keeper on the play for Hartley, but then flags come flying in, and this one I have a feeling is coming back.
Yeah, it looks like it once again in the area of holding. When you see that penalty flag come out right away at the point of attack, normally it's holding, but as we go here, it's a chop block.
So it does work against the Crusaders as once again a big flag on this drive. Amazingly able to go ahead and pick up the first down on a big 3rd and 17. So we'll see if they're able to do something similar here right now, as 1st and 10 is going to look a lot more like 1st and 20.
Well, chop block can be one of 2 things. The direction that they threw that penalty leads me to believe that there was kind of a high-low block on one defender, where 2 offensive linemen, one of them went high, one of them went low.
First down and 20. And now both teams taking a walk off the field as a timeout is called, the first of the half for Milton. 23-14 our score, 4.5 left for the game. A U-break iFix timeout. Let's step away. You're watching the Cheese Bowl on 57 Sports. The rain continues to fall at Breitenbach Stadium. Every time I hear Breitenbach, I think of a song by Waylon Jennings. Lukenbach, Texas. Do you know that song?
Oh, yeah.
Waylon Jennings and Willie Nelson. And I don't know why it makes me think of that. Maybe it's the Bach part. That's all that it could possibly be, as McNeil is going to keep the football and he is going to get swarmed under by a flock of Redhawks there and lose yardage on first down.
Yeah, definitely nowhere to run there for Hartley.
Sorry,
and again, McNeil is being deployed out as a receiver back at his old tight end position, and Hartley was just trying to run the ball and run the clock here.
You got to pay attention what's going on here, Rich, as I'm losing sight of the quarterback sometimes, whether it's Hartley, McNeil. They have been substituted quite well here in the second half. As we didn't see Hartlieb take a snap at all as a quarterback in the first half, but here in the second half, we've seen quite a bit of him, and he's been able to run effectively.
Yeah, I think they found something there to start the third quarter when they went on that long drive there. And Hartlieb's got a lot of athleticism back there. Hasn't thrown the ball at all, so you wonder if they got one thing up their sleeve where he can pull it up and throw it and maybe get behind the Milton defense.
So our last game of the season, Mark, it's gone by way too fast.
It certainly has.
You know, I really enjoy doing these games with you. It's always a pleasure to get to call the games with you, and then I don't get to see you again for like another 10 months, you know.
I can always catch you once in a while on the sports report on Channel 57.
Right.
So I get to see you a little bit, and I'll have to post more pictures on Facebook so you can see me.
Yeah, we'll have to get you in, too, and see what you're doing here in the off season, just to catch up with you a little bit.
So a playoff roundup coming up.
Yeah. Yeah, we got some playoffs to talk about. Here in the Badger South, a lot of that figured out, as Hartlieb once again is going to fight forward for a few yards, bring up a third down and long, as Milton, I think, is going to use their final timeout and stop the clock with 4:08 left in the game. Yeah, if we look at the standings, Monona Grove undefeated so far. Actually, why don't we take a look at the standings when we get back? Let's step aside. A U-Break iFix timeout. 23-14 Edgewood on 57 Sports. Three teams already in the playoffs in the Badger South Conference. They are Monona Grove, Stoughton, and Oregon. We have seen Stoughton and Oregon this season. Two other teams that have a chance tonight with victories. They are Monroe and Watertown that can make it from the Badger South here. So that's a pretty loaded division. Lot of good teams in this conference.
Certainly, and so how that works is anybody with a 500 conference record is automatically pretty much guaranteed a playoff qualifying spot. And if you're close to a 500 record, you might have a shot at the end here.
Big throw by McNeil on 3rd and long, and he just missed Hartlieb, who was behind the defense. So another 3rd and 17. The Crusaders picked it up last time. This time they do not, even though Hartlieb was open. But more importantly, what happens right here, the clock stops.
Yeah, so McNeil was getting pressured, released the ball probably a second sooner than he wanted to, and Hartlieb wasn't able to adjust. I did just find out from the scorekeeper that Hartlieb is Jim Hartlieb's son. Jim Hartlieb played quarterback for Iowa, and when the Badgers played Iowa at Camp Randall, Jim Hartlieb, the quarterback, juked his brother Andy Hartlieb, the linebacker, for a winning touchdown against us at Camp Randall.
Wow.
Something I'll never forget, and I'm sure he reminds him of that over Thanksgiving every year.
Back in the Hayden Fry days of the Hawkeyes, and they put some good football teams out there year after year. Hayden Fry was one heck of a football coach.
He did. He helped spawn the Barry Alvarez chain of coaches that came along after him and during, and Kirk Ferentz and all those guys.
Hayden Fry, by the way, not to be confused with Hayden Fox, who was coach of Minnesota State. Now there actually is a Minnesota State.
Yep.
Mankato used to not be called that, but they are Minnesota State right now. They are the Mustangs, and Hayden Fox from the TV show Coach. That was good stuff. Okay, we're going to take another break here as we have an injured player down on the field. 23-14 Edgewood is on top of Milton. We'll come back for the final 4 minutes of the Cheese Bowl on 57 Sports. Last-ditch effort here for the Milton Redhawks. They are out of timeouts. 3:54 left in the game, and they have 58 yards to get to the end zone. They're going to need that and one more score.
Well, what could have been a game-tying drive here is now 2 scores behind because they blocked extra point, which the coaching staff just has to be shaking their head on right now. Instead of down by 9, they could be down by 8 and going in to try to tie this thing up.
Yeah, even at the high school level, you kind of got to consider that extra point almost automatic. I mean, it's not that tough of a kick to make, but it has not gone the way for the Red Hawks tonight as a pass is complete, as Weitzel is able to hook up with Dane Nelson.
Well, it looked like he got a lot more than that, but apparently he stepped out of bounds after only catching the ball for about a 5-yard gain.
Third catch of the night for Nelson for 24 yards.
At least it stops the clock for them.
2nd and 6 now. 4 wide receivers in the game for Weitzel. Van Natta is the running back. With time in the pocket, Weitzel is going to take off, and he gets about 2 yards, but I'm kind of surprised there. It almost looked like that was a designed play and a designed run because he had plenty of time to throw.
I think it was, and it looked like they were reading what the Crusaders were doing defensively, dropping back kind of in that soft prevent, and figured they could get some easy yards, but the linebackers were keying on Weitzel knowing he's a running threat.
3rd down, a long 4, almost 5 yards, and a false start, and that's a huge penalty because 3rd and 4 becomes 3rd and 9.
And now they pretty much have to pass it. The only time Weitzel's going to run now is if he scrambles out of here. But they're going to have to try to get something going to get a first down here to keep this drive alive.
Fortunate thing for both passing attacks, and both have put up some big yardage tonight, even though it's been rainy. You know what really hurts, I think, passers is wind. We've had almost none of it here tonight.
Yeah.
So 3rd down and 9. Just a 3-man rush coming for the Crusaders. Weitzel throws it out in the flex and completes to Schleem. Short yardage, though, and it's going to bring up a 4th and long, and that 5-yard penalty is looming even bigger right now.
Certainly, and normally in a game, that little short hitch route, you catch that thing, and if you can make a guy miss, you might be able to get it, but the Crusaders did a great job at the point of attack, just wrapping up and bringing the ball carrier down.
Crowd coming to life on 4th down and 7. This could be the game for the Redhawks. Weitzel looking left, throwing long, looking for Nelson. He got it! At the 35, still on his feet, down to the 25, as it looked like there was double coverage out there. It did not matter. Chance Nelson makes the catch, and that was huge. 30 yards and a Festival Foods first down.
Chance Nelson's a senior, 6'2". He didn't want his senior game to end quite yet. He went up at high point of the ball, caught it up high to enable this drive to continue.
4 catches, 66 yards for Chance Nelson tonight. The Redhawks are still alive after picking up that 4th down. This pass, though, is going to be incomplete. Good job defensively out there for the Crusaders, as a cornerback coming up on that play was Mitchell Wendler.
That one doesn't hurt that much then. It's about a 5-yard slant. If he catches that, the clock still runs. They don't get a big chunk of yards. Now the clock stops. They can kind of connect up back together, figure out what they're going to do, and maybe throw a deeper ball here.
18 of 26 so far tonight for Weitzel. The ball hasn't hit the ground too much. There have been 2 interceptions as well for Weitzel. 2nd down and 10 from the 24-yard line. Dropping back, Weitzel has time, lets it fly. Far sideline to the end zone, incomplete as it is knocked away. Double coverage out there, but it almost got through.
Weitzel just doesn't have the big arm that we've seen Jack McNeil. That ball needed to be put into the end zone, and from where Weitzel's standing with the conditions out there, he wasn't able to get it out that far, and 2 Crusaders defenders were there to knock the ball down.
3rd and 10 now, 2 chances to stay alive for the Redhawks in this game, trying to break a 5-game losing streak. The Crusaders looking for their first win of the year. 3rd and 10. Weitzel barks out the call, throws right, has a man out there. It's complete. And it looks like a first down, and a horse collar penalty is going to be tacked on as well, as Tyler Hughes made the catch for 11 yards.
That's a heck of a pass by Weitzel. Again, he put a ball right on his man on a line. I don't know that he was going to pick up the first down on that, but with the horse collar, it stops the clock, gives him the first down, and keeps the Milton drive alive.
Yeah, that is not a good penalty out there with that horse collar. So half the distance to the goal line, 2:10 left in the game. Milton gets any kind of score at all, they're still alive, and we'll have an onside kick coming up here from Brighton Bach. So, boy, this game has turned into a really good one here in the 4th quarter, as the Crusaders, again, in a different spot for them. They were playing with a lead for all of this game, and sometimes when you're not used to that, it's kind of hard to close a team out. 1st down and 10. No one else in the backfield but Weitzel, rolling left. Now he's going to keep it, looking to turn on the Jets. Gets inside the 10, down to the 6-yard line, and more importantly, gets out of bounds and stops the clock. 21 carries, 132 yards, and a touchdown for Weitzel. He's had a pretty good night.
He's shown what a tremendous athlete that he is back there. Again, he's the second leader rusher for the Red Hawks, and he can throw the ball pretty well. Being only a junior, he's got a bright senior year coming up next year.
Van Natta, the tailback, next to him in the backfield. 4 wide receivers. Weitzel looks right and misfires as it was intended for Hughes out there. 3rd down, and I don't think that was going to connect anyways unless he really tossed it over his head a little
Weitzel
bit.
needed to have a little bit more patience. He didn't have his feet set under him, kind of hurried the throw, put it out there. If he waits a little bit longer and lets that play develop and throws it out into the flat there, he might have had something.
Yeah, we talk about it so often here. Footwork, so important for the quarterbacks. When they misfire, when the accuracy is off, more often than not, it's footwork.
It certainly is, and it's something that as young quarterbacks, the more reps you get under the heat of battle, the better you're going to get at being able to work your fundamentals.
Timeout taken by the Crusaders as a big play coming up here on 3rd and goal from the 5. So $1:39 left for this one. We'll come back for the conclusion. You're watching the Cheese Bowl, and you're watching 57 Sports.
Big battle for the
been a rainy night here. 1:39 left of the game, 23-14. We're having a good time with our crew. You know, I always say we never take enough pictures. Mark, we're taking pictures together after the game tonight. Just never get enough of them, and our crew has done such a great job bringing you these games all season long.
I'm calling a roll to the right with a run pass option.
Weitzel in the pocket, throws right, has a man at the 1 as he did not get in. The completion was made to Hughes. It is a gain of 4. It is 4th and 1 from the 1-yard line. They got to get it into the end zone on this play.
Clock's
Actually,
running.
They mark it at the 2. 4th and goal from the 2. Here's the game right
Got
now.
An uncovered receiver.
And a flag, and there was movement on the line, and 4th and goal from the 2 now becomes 4th and 7 after the courtesy Ford penalty flag. Ouch.
Well, when you're trying to dig yourself out of a hole, you're trying to get yourself a chance to get an onside kick. You can't have these type of mistakes this late into the game.
Too many of them as the clock is running. After the flag, as soon as they put that ball down, the clock goes. I'm not sure if the Red Hawks know it, but we're inside of a minute now. They got to get this play off, and they got to get it into the end zone. 4th and 7. Here's the football game. Weitzel dropping back, has time, looks left, throws, wide open receiver, touchdown, and this game is still going as the pass was complete to Chance Nelson, a 7-yard touchdown strike, and with 45 seconds left, don't go anywhere.
Barney just slipped back there, fell off of his man. Weitzel was just able to put the ball on. It wasn't the prettiest throw in the world, had to go down to his knees to get it, but it keeps it within reach.
Second touchdown strike of the night for Weitzel on the You Moved Me touchdown. 7 yards on the play to Chance Nelson. Nelson, by the way, 6 catches, 73 yards, and that touchdown there. And that was the biggest play of the game. And it looks like the Red Hawks are going for 2. I think the only reason why you go for 2 here is you have no faith in your kicking game at all.
Yeah, obviously with 2 blocked extra points, they're not feeling real good about it, so they're going to go for 2.
2-point conversion here. Weitzel with the handoff as getting in. No, actually stopped short on the play was Jackson Sadi. So the guy you might least expect to get the football in that situation does not make it. He is held just shy, and I'm not sure if that's big or not. Either way, you're going to need a field goal. The only thing is a field goal would get you the win. I'm not sure the kicking game's going to get him a field goal, so we got an onside kick coming up here right now for the entire football game.
That's absolutely right. And again, with the kicking game, the way they're not able to make extra points, I highly doubt they're going to be able to kick a 30, 40-yard field goal in these conditions anyway. So they're going to need to score another touchdown to pull this miracle off.
Wow. What a comeback, though, so far for the Red Hawks, and give them credit. I mean, you know, when you were down at one point 23-6, in the fourth quarter, you could have said, you know what, let's just give this up here right now. You know, season's over, let's just walk away. But they have fought back valiantly for Coach Lee and have made it one heck of a football game.
And how many times, Rich, at all levels of football do you see those missed extra points come back and bite you in the end? Again, 3 missed extra points. It could be a tie ball game right now.
Yeah, 2 missed extra points and a failed 2-point conversion that you wouldn't have had to go for at all. And it is the special teams that has killed the Red Hawks tonight, not only on those conversions, but also a safety that they gave up in the end zone on a bad snap to the punter. So the special teams has killed Milton here this evening. So here comes an onside kick. Hughes the kicker. And let's see how they elect to do it. Go for the big bounce or the squib. They try to squib, and it is recovered, and that is going to do it. The Madison Edgewood Crusaders get the football and get their first win of 2017.
Well, got to feel happy for the Crusaders there for that onside kick. I'm not quite sure what they were doing there. Didn't really give themselves a chance at it because of the way they came at the angle. You would think they'd just line up a couple of yards, come straight at it, try to toe bash it down to the 50 and see if they give themselves a chance, but they kicked it all the way to the 40, didn't even give themselves. But you got to feel good about the Edgewood Crusaders. Jack McNeil, the senior quarterback who got pressed into duty midway through the season, is going to be able to kneel on it a couple of times and win his last game as a senior.
Nice to see as the soggy and or soaking wet student section of the Crusaders approved that one on what I believe is pajama night. I've seen a lot of kids dressed in pajamas. I thought at first when they were wearing the footy pajamas it was just for warmth, but I'm guessing there were quite a few of them in PJs here.
I saw a girl in Batman pajamas. They look pretty good. I'm thinking about getting a pair myself.
Yeah, they look kind of toasty as it looks like Edgewood will just need to kneel this football one more time to get Coach Minert a win here, as they're just trying to count the right number of guys on the field right now. Come on, fellas. All you got to do is kneel down one more time.
That's it.
Well, that's going to do it. They won't even need to do that. The refs inform them the game is indeed over, and the Edgewood Crusaders get their first win of 2017, defeating the Milton Redhawks here in the Cheese Bowl. Our final score, Edgewood 23, Milton 20. Stick around. We got a lot of stuff coming up. The A1 Furniture and Mattress trophy presentation. Yeah, the big trophy. We're also going to give away our offensive and defensive MVPs, brought to us by Brunzell Lumber and Little Strokes Swim Academy, respectively. Mark, for the first time tonight, you and I are going to have to venture out into the rain.
I think we can handle it. I'm not made of sugar. I'm not going to melt. We can go out there and do our job. And the players and coaches all were out there working it in the rain. We can handle it.
Yeah, absolutely. Also stick around. We will have the Jacobson brother plays of the game to show you. There were quite a few of them. That is coming up right after we send it down to the sidelines. Post-game festivities begin right now.
Well, thanks, guys. Madison Edgewood gets its first win of the season. It comes on senior night, and it looks like we've got some hardware to give away, do we not?
We do. We've got the A1 Furniture and Mattress Cheese Bowl Trophy that's coming up after the break, plus our offensive and our defensive MVP winners, so please stay with us.
Hey, you might not think it is a big win, but it's a huge victory for Madison Edgewood tonight. They get their first win of the year. They'll finish at 1-8, but it's got to feel good after a season of losing to finally come out on the winning side.
Well, Rich, a lot of teams are going to lose their last game of the year that make it into the playoffs, as a matter of fact. And to end your season with a win is good for the soul.
Started off good as we take a look at the Jacobson brothers' plays of the game. McNeil to Drake, and that is 92 yards and a touchdown.
That was a beautifully delivered ball by McNeil, and it got him off to a great night throwing as he had over 300 yards passing tonight.
Drake Brent was able to sprint away. Speaking of sprinting away, how about Danny Weitzel, 50 yards down the left sideline?
Junior quarterback displayed both good throwing as well as good running, and he's going to be exciting for the Milton Redhawks next year as a senior quarterback.
Weitzel could air it out as well, as he is an all-around quarterback. As you see the connection right there to Nelson, but got a little greedy there, and Joshua Farney was able to get a pickoff.
Playing center field back there, just watch the ball, watch the quarterback, and go up and high point the ball, and turn the momentum right there before halftime.
There was some pressure on Weitzel's face as well. This might have been the prettiest pass of the night as McNeil hits Hartlieb for the score.
Outside shoulder of the receiver, laid it out there perfectly. Really nice throw by the big Jack McNeil.
Redhawks made a game of it as late here. Van Natta, 15-yard touchdown catch from Weitzel. As right after that, then, the Redhawks were able to score again. A pass that we missed in the end zone to Nelson. That made it 23-20. The Redhawks tried an onside kick. It was unsuccessful, and that ended it right there. Win tonight for Edgewood on the Jacobson Brothers plays of the game. Mark, we're going to head on down, give out some hardware now.
Absolutely.
Let's go and do that.
To the Crusaders.
Yeah, I'm sure the Crusaders very excited to see some of that hardware tonight. 23-20, our final score. The trophy ceremonies all coming up next here on 57 Sports.
Welcome back to the A1 Mattress Cheese Bowl. It's the moment you've all been waiting for. We're handing out some awards. We've got your MVP defensive brought to you by Little Stroke Swim Academy. Who's it going to, Eric?
So we're going to give this to Josh Farney, DB. So Josh, we have you with an interception, 2 passes defense. Obviously, these are unofficial stats, but a big game for you guys. A big first one of the year, but it comes on senior night. What does this all mean for you guys?
Oh, you know, we've been working all week really hard. You know, we always prepare for every team the same way. Luckily, we trained really hard this week, and we got a win.
Congratulations. And we've got the offensive MVP coming up after this break. Welcome back to the A1 Furniture and Mattress Cheese Bowl. Edgewood coming off a big win tonight, lots of energy. We've got your offensive MVP award winner, and this is on behalf of Brunzell, Lumber, and Millwork. Eric, who's it going to?
Wow, looks like this is going to quarterback Jack McNeil. So Jack, we have you at 318 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Wow.
Congratulations on that.
Congratulations. And we are handing out the A1 Furniture Cheese Bowl trophy right after this, so stay with us.
A1 Furniture High School Football Cheese Bowl, our last game of the season, and what a game it was as Edgewood defeated Milton in quite the game. Congrats, guys.
It was a lot of fun.
I know we want to take the opportunity to officially present this trophy, and it's a special night for us to do that because Paul Canarella, owner of A1 Furniture, is joining us, a big supporter of high school athletics. So, Paul, take it away.
I'd like to present the 2017 Cheese Champion Edgewood Crusaders.
Awesome. Congratulations, Coach. And we'll pass it off to Rich and Mark.
2-1 in the Cheese Bowl.
Very nice as I get to scoot through here. And, Coach, you got to be feeling good. You know, for you guys tonight, you did it on offense, defense, special teams. This was a well-deserved, well-earned victory.
It was. Like I told the kids after the game, I thought we really deserved to win the game the way we played. We hit some big shots offensively. Defense made a lot of key stops. We were efficient in the kicking game, and it was just a good team win. It was really the first game we had everybody dressed ready to play tonight.
Coach, we talked in pregame about your big arm quarterback, Jack McNeil. If you could give him some time to throw the ball, he could light some things up, and he certainly did tonight. Talk about the big uglies up front, the time they gave him, and then 300 yards for Jack.
You know, I thought we did a great job. The offensive line did an awesome job with protection, and we had our speed guys get loose, Drake and Thomas Hartley. You know, it was good to have those guys out there, and again, McNeil threw it on rhythm. It looked beautiful.
Absolutely, Coach. Once again, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yep,
Channel
well
57.
earned. Thank you. Yeah, we appreciate it. Well earned, well deserved victory for us. It is the last game of the season. We thank everybody for watching, all of our sponsors, especially our title sponsor, A1 Furniture and Mattress. Great job as always. Listen, for Ellen, Jessa, Eric, for Mark Martinez, I'm Rich Reynolds. We appreciate it so much for watching. We will see you next season right here on the A1 Furniture and Mattress High School Football Bowl Series on Wisconsin's 57 Sports.